You walk into Costco in February thinking, it's probably the same as always, but the reality is very different. This is the most aggressive clearance phase of the year, where prices can drop straight to the floor in just a few days. Household items that were once dismissed as too expensive suddenly fall by hundreds of dollars, but there are no big signs telling you that. You can walk right past the biggest deals without realizing it, and when you come back, they're already gone from Costco's shelves. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Presto Heat Dish Heater. The Presto Heat Dish Heater, $45, is the kind of item longtime Costco shoppers immediately do a double take on. Normally, this heater almost never goes on sale, sitting on the shelf at a steady price through multiple winters. So when it suddenly drops to $45 during the February sale, this isn't a regular discount, it's a rare clearance. The heat dish is known for focused heat, fast warm-up, low failure rates, and long-term durability. When you see this price at Costco, there's only one takeaway: buy it now, or you won't see it again this year. Anchor Charger Set. The Anchor Charger Set, 70 watts plus 30 watts, USB-C cables, $24.97, is the kind of deal that makes people check the price tag twice. A single 70-watt charger alone usually costs close to this. Here, you're getting 2 chargers plus 2 fast USB-C cables in one bundle. This is a true buy one get 4 situation, something that's extremely rare in Costco's electronics section. At this price, the Anchor combo isn't just cheap. It directly covers everyday needs like charging laptops, tablets, and phones without buying each item separately. FIFA World Cup Mini Balls. The price tag ends in 00, which means the FIFA World Cup Mini Balls, Manager Special, are being deeply cleared out to make room. This isn't a normal markdown. It's usually the lowest price before the product disappears from the shelves entirely. World Cup Mini Balls sell steadily as gifts, display items, or indoor toys for kids, which makes this clearance especially notable. Sharper Image Massage Gun. The Sharper Image Massage Gun, $39.97, is the kind of price that makes people stop and stare at the tag. Normally, Sharper Image handheld massage devices sit firmly in the higher price range and are rarely discounted this deeply. Seeing the price drop straight to $39.97 is a textbook end-of-cycle clearance. At this level, you're paying mass-market pricing for a legitimate muscle recovery device. If you spot this deal, hesitation is the fastest way to miss it. Shark Never Changes Air Purifier. What's shocking about this air purifier isn't just the price. It's the 5-year filter lifespan, something that's almost unheard of in the home category. It covers large spaces, runs quietly, and eliminates the annual cost of replacement filters. When the price drops to $199.97, this is no longer a nice-to-look-at deal. It's a rare long-term value price for a product meant to be used for years. Cuisinart 5-Speed Hand Mixer. If the original $39.99 price ever made you hesitate, this straight 50% markdown removes all doubt. A compact, easy-to-handle 5-speed hand mixer that covers most everyday baking and cooking needs. At $19.97, Cuisinart is no longer competing on brand. It's competing at true clearance-level pricing. Ninja Woodfire Outdoor Grill. Seasoned deal hunters know instantly what's happening when they see the Ninja Woodfire Outdoor Grill. This is a true clearance signal. Dropping to $199.97 isn't about a product flaw. It's Costco clearing space for summer inventory. This line has historically held firm on price and rarely sees meaningful discounts. What makes it stand out is the hybrid design. It's electric, but it burns real wood pellets, delivering genuine smoky flavor without charcoal. One machine handles grilling, smoking, and air frying. When you see the .97 ending, it means one thing: this price isn't coming back. At this level, hesitation equals missing the deal. Magnum e-bike. Seeing an e-bike with an asterisk on the price tag at Costco is an important signal. The item is being discontinued. That usually means a deeper markdown is coming next. The Magnum e-bike hasn't hit rock bottom yet, but the asterisk tells you the best price is still ahead. For big-ticket items like electric bikes, waiting a few more weeks can often mean saving several $100s. Jetson Foldable E-Bike. If you need a folding e-bike right now, the Jetson Foldable at $399.97 is the clear choice. Its compact folding design fits easily into a small car trunk, making it ideal for short commutes or travel. At this price point, it's already very close to the bottom for a foldable e-bike at Costco. Phantom A10 R1 Pro scooters. Meanwhile, scooter models like the Phantom A10 and R1 Pro are starting to see small price drops, a familiar sign that warehouses are preparing for deeper clearances to make room for summer outdoor inventory. If you're not in a rush, this is a category worth watching closely. LG C5 Series OLED TV. This is the most shocking deal of all because February is the annual price floor for premium TVs in the US. Right after the Super Bowl, retailers are forced to clear inventory to make space for the next generation, and OLED models take the deepest cuts. The LG C5 series, with a 144Hz refresh rate and noticeably improved brightness over the C4, often drops $300 to $500 within just a few weeks. Buying it at Costco also includes a 5-year all-state warranty, a major advantage that makes this deal worth locking in as soon as you see the price. Gorilla Rack 20-bin storage system. A price of $180 for the Gorilla Rack 20-bin system isn't a typical sale. It's a manager special, which usually represents the lowest price the warehouse will accept. Thick steel shelving, high weight capacity, and durable plastic bins make this a long-term storage solution. At this price at Costco, you're not just organizing your garage, you're buying storage that will last for years. Ring Stick Up Cam 3-pack. A straight 50% discount on a 3-camera bundle is the kind of price many people won't wait on. Instead of buying cameras individually, this set lets you cover your entire home security setup in one purchase. Quick to install, battery-powered or plug-in options, and reliable remote viewing. When you see this price at Costco, understand what it really is. A clearance to free up space, not a light promotion. Hesitate, and the entire deal is gone. Artica LED flat panel lights at $24.97. Artica LED flat panels are priced low enough that industry insiders buy them by the case. They're slim, evenly lit, and clean-looking. Install them, and the space instantly feels more modern. Because they're inexpensive without looking cheap, contractors often clear out entire pallets for rentals or fast-turn renovation projects. Seeing this price at Costco means a deep clearance. Wait too long, and the lot is gone. Hover Air X1 Pro Max drone. Just a week ago, this markdown was still a rumor. Now it's real. Dropping to $399.97, the Hover Air X1 Pro Max 8K self-flying drone has officially entered deep clearance. High speed, multiple automated flight modes, and a full combo with extra batteries and a charging hub. This price is extremely rare for this level of hardware. Decor iFloor 3 Ultra. This is a genuinely shocking price for a wet/dry floor cleaner. Normally, machines with strong suction in this category stay well above $300. Yet the iFloor 3 Ultra has dropped to $149.97. True bottom-level clearance. Vacuum and mop in one pass, saving serious daily cleaning time. If you see this price at Costco, buy it immediately. Wait, and it will be gone. Wind-blocking blackout curtains? $14.97 for a thick blackout curtain is a genuine shock. This isn't thin, decorative fabric. It's an insulated style that blocks winter drafts, reduces summer heat, and noticeably lowers energy costs. Hang them up, and the room's look changes instantly, delivering more impact than many expensive decor items. The only downside is limited color selection, usually just a few basic options like gray. Like the video if this surprised you. Kohler Kitchen Faucet. A Kohler kitchen faucet under $50 is extremely rare. This is a premium brand known for durability, solid build quality, and modern design. At $49.97, this price clearly signals a clearance to free up shelf space. For anyone who's renovated before or is planning a kitchen upgrade, this is the kind of deal that rarely repeats at Costco. Value that far exceeds the price. The honest advice right now, don't overthink it, just buy it. Philips Sonicare Electric Toothbrush 2-pack. $69.97 for a 2-pack is a number that makes people stop and do the math. That's about $35 per brush, while Sonicare is well known for removing plaque far more effectively than manual brushing. This isn't a trial model or a stripped-down version. It's a fully rechargeable electric toothbrush with all the essential features. At this price at Costco, upgrading oral care for 2 people has never been more accessible. Media Dual Zone Electric Hot Pot. Under $40 for a dual zone electric hot pot is almost unheard of in the US market. The Media Dual Zone is being cleared out in a true make room on the shelf move. 2 independent cooking zones let you enjoy spicy and mild broths at the same time without juggling multiple pots. Fast heating, ceramic non-stick coating, and a large capacity that easily feeds a family. Artica Fandelier Fan Plus Light. $79.97 for a designer ceiling fan light is enough to make Decor shoppers look twice. The Artica Fandelier is being pushed off the shelves at less than half of typical market pricing. Slim, compact design, evenly distributed lighting, and a quiet running fan. This is the kind of product you usually only see them in model apartments or newly finished homes. At this price, it's not a small upgrade. It's a complete shift in how your space feels. LED Retrofit Recessed Lights. A 4-pack of LED Retrofit Recessed Lights is breaking market pricing at $9.97, just over $2 per light. LED lifespan is measured in years, not months like incandescent bulbs. Installation is extremely fast. Screw into the existing socket, push into place, and you're done. No electrician, no drilling, no cutting. Even light output, clear energy savings, and most importantly, this is a clearance item. Globe wall sconces. No drilling, no wiring, no electrician. Those 3 points alone make globe wall sconces stand out in the lighting aisle. They run on rechargeable batteries, mount easily, and slide off for charging just like a phone. The light output is just right, clean and compact, and perfect for hallways, bedside lighting, or hard-to-fix dark corners. And here's the shocker. Costco has them priced at $19.97 for a solution usually reserved for model homes. Govee Outdoor Lights at $199.97. This price doesn't look like a rock-bottom clearance yet, but with Govee Outdoor Lights, the real signal is that a deeper markdown is coming. Inventory is still heavy, the holiday season is over, and Costco is clearing space for summer patio items. This is a familiar setup right before prices drop again. These lights are well known for their lighting effects, app control, and outdoor durability. The current price is a signal, not the final buy point. Artica Sunny Veil, new version. What stands out most isn't the price. It's the sudden appearance of the new Artica Sunny Veil on the shelf. This version is noticeably larger than the previous model, with a sturdier frame and wider light coverage that looks premium from a distance. This is exactly how Costco introduces a full replacement, which usually means the older version will be cleared out soon. The new Sunny Veil doesn't need a deep discount to turn heads, but deal hunters should be watching closely for what's about to disappear next to it. Adjustable Workout Bench. Finding a fully featured adjustable workout bench for under $100 is rare enough to be hard to believe. It includes a preacher curl pad, leg extension, and multiple adjustable angles, features that usually require buying add-ons or paying twice as much. The low price isn't about poor quality, it's about inventory cycles. Costco is clearing fitness equipment to make room for summer patio inventory. 32 degrees long sleeve tops. Paying around $5 for a true thermal long sleeve shirt is a price that almost doesn't exist outside of end-of-season clearance. 32 degrees is known for soft, lightweight fabric that provides warmth without trapping heat, perfect as a base layer or worn on its own. This isn't a promotional sale, it's final seasonal clearance. Once sizes are gone, they're gone. No restocks. Cold weather gear. Hand warmers, balaclavas, Adidas beanies. The cold weather section is in free fall on pricing. Hand warmers, balaclavas, and Adidas beanies have all dropped into the $10 to $15 range, classic clear-it-out pricing. The standout is the heated vest at $39.97. Rechargeable battery, hours of continuous warmth, and normally priced at nearly double. This is the time to buy for year-round use, not to shop based on today's weather. Copper Fit Knee Sleeves. For under $10 for a 2-pack of Copper Fit knee sleeves, this is the kind of price that usually only appears when warehouses are being completely cleared out. These are everyday accessories for people who walk a lot, stand for long hours, go to the gym, or do physical work. The fabric is thick and stretchy, supportive without feeling restrictive, helping reduce fatigue and keep the knee stable during movement. At this price point, Copper Fit isn't a maybe. It's a smart item to keep on hand. Yankee Candle Car Fresheners. You don't even need to open the trunk to smell them. And that's how you know Yankee Candle Car Fresheners are different from cheap hang-and-forget air fresheners. The scent is clean, noticeable without being harsh, and most importantly, it lasts far longer than just a few days. What's unusual is the price. 5 for $7.97. Normally, that amount barely buys a single Yankee Candle Car Freshener. Mediterranean Olive Platter. One look at the price tag, and you know something unusual is happening. The Mediterranean-style olive platter has dropped to $4.97 to $6.97, far below the typical price for imported deli items. Olives, cheese, and marinated components are pre-arranged. Open the tray and serve immediately. This is exactly the kind of entertaining platter people usually hesitate to buy because of the price. At this level, it's no longer a casual indulgence but a rare clearance deal on quality deli food. Cake Bites, Italy. Don't let the Italy label fool you. These cake bites are a textbook example of low-price sweets with high downsides. Long ingredient lists packed with refined sugar and additives, aggressively sweet and quick to become cloying. The low price is a psychological trap during clearance season. What you trade for it is poor eating quality and unnecessary sugar. When it comes to desserts, cheap doesn't mean good value. This one belongs firmly on the skip list. Lance Puma Shoes. Prices ranging from $16.97 to $24.97 for branded shoes look extremely tempting. But this is a classic case of you get what you pay for. Many buyers report weak construction, stiff soles, and early wear after limited use. If you need a durable pair of shoes for daily walking, this can easily turn into a wasted purchase. With footwear, deep discounts don't always equal real value. These pairs deserve careful consideration before going into your cart. Kirkland European Cookies, 3 pounds. The 3-pound weight alone raises eyebrows. Kirkland European Cookies have dropped to $12.97, far below their usual pricing for European-style cookies. Crisp texture, buttery flavor, and polished packaging. This is the kind of item that looks impressive the moment it's set out. It's a popular choice for afternoon tea, hosting guests, or gifting, delivering a sense of quality that far exceeds the price. During clearance events, it's rare to find a snack that offers this much volume with such consistent quality. Terra Cafe TK01/Jura espresso machines. These aren't standard coffee makers. They're fully automatic espresso machines usually seen in cafes or high-end home kitchens. The Terra Cafe TK01 and Jura machines are hitting a rare clearance phase, grinding beans, tamping, brewing, frothing milk, and self-cleaning, all at the push of a button. The shock factor is the $100 to $200 instant markdown during Costco's February inventory clearout. For anyone who wants cafe-quality coffee at home, this is a window that doesn't come around often. Return hunting tip. If you happen to spot an item sitting alone with slightly beat-up packaging, an unusual label, or wrapped up with extra straps, don't dismiss it too quickly. To experienced deal hunters, that's often a goldmine waiting to be discovered. The key to hunting return items is not judging by appearance. Many of these products are still 90 to 99% new, returned simply because of a wrong purchase, incorrect size, or a change of mind. As a result, prices are often 30 to 50% lower, sometimes even more. If there's no price tag, take it straight to the customer service desk and ask. Staff can look it up in the system and print a new price on the spot. For single units, last pieces, or items that have already been discontinued, it's absolutely worth asking if there's any additional markdown. A common giveaway is an item sitting off to the side with overlapping price stickers, usually a final stop product. If the price looks right, grab it immediately. This February's Costco sale hunt isn't for slow movers. It's one of the rare times of the year when clearance items, manager specials, and returns all hit the floor at once to make room for new seasonal inventory. Those who understand pricing patterns, recognize the signals on price tags, and are ready to decide quickly are the ones who win. Real value isn't about buying the cheapest item. It's about buying the most worthwhile item at the right moment, saving money while upgrading your life in a smart and deliberate way. Have you scored any deals from this list yet? You can save over 70% at Costco without hunting for sales, without coupons, and even without buying groceries. Most people go to Costco, stop at the food section, and completely overlook the areas that are burning money every day at other stores. Furniture, household goods, clothing, even jewelry and wine, items that are often marked up 2 or 3 times elsewhere, are being sold at Costco with very slim margins. The issue isn't that Costco is cheap. The real issue is that 99% of shoppers don't realize what they're missing. And once you understand how Costco operates, how to read the pricing, and where to look first, your entire shopping experience changes. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Household essentials and home improvement. When it comes to household items and home upgrades, many people instinctively head straight to hardware stores. But in reality, Costco can cut your costs in half on many everyday categories, from the smallest items to long-term equipment. The first major difference shows up in things people rarely think twice about but buy regularly: light bulbs, air purifier filters, HVAC filters, flashlights, emergency lights, and batteries. These items add up fast when purchased individually at other stores. At Costco, they're sold in bulk packs with consistent quality and a noticeably lower per-unit price. There's no deal hunting rush, but over time, the savings quietly stack up. For smaller home upgrades, Costco often offers options that are simply right for everyday needs. Indoor lighting, outdoor lights, doormats, curtains, shelving units, and storage bins all come in neutral, practical designs that don't chase trends. These aren't items meant to impress. They're meant to solve real problems. Better lighting, better organization, and less frequent replacement. Another point many shoppers appreciate is consistent quality. Costco doesn't overwhelm you with endless choices, but every item on the floor has already been filtered. You rarely pick something up that feels flimsy, overly light, or cheap to the touch. For home improvement items, that reliability matters more than having dozens of options. Finally, there's the return policy. With household goods and home upgrades, there's always some risk. Maybe it doesn't fit the space, doesn't match your needs, or just doesn't feel right after trying it. Costco gives shoppers a clear way out, something many other stores don't offer. That safety net makes trying small home improvements much easier to commit to. 2. High-value furniture. When it comes to high-value furniture, Costco is often the last place people expect, but it's where the price gap becomes the most obvious when compared to upscale furniture chains like Pottery Barn. The difference isn't in the style, it's in the pricing model. Traditional furniture stores often apply heavy markups. It's not uncommon to see prices inflated by 100–200% over actual costs. Costco works the opposite way. They cap their profit margins at a very low level, usually around 14%, even on large items like tables, cabinets, or sofas. That means shoppers are paying for materials and build quality, not for showrooms or brand premiums. Placed side by side, many furniture pieces at Costco look remarkably similar to what you'd find at Pottery Barn: modern, neutral designs that fit easily into a wide range of spaces. But once you look at the price, the difference becomes hard to ignore. A cabinet or console table at Pottery Barn can easily exceed $2,000, while a comparable version at Costco may cost only a quarter of that. The quality is also not the cheap-for-the-price kind. Many Costco pieces use solid wood, sturdy frames, soft close drawers, and, most importantly, arrive fully assembled. There's no putting together thin panels, no worrying about misaligned hinges or warped frames after a few months of use. This is a detail many people only truly appreciate after buying furniture elsewhere. Another major advantage is low risk. With Costco's generous return policy, shoppers don't have to hesitate as much when trying large furniture items. If it doesn't fit the space or doesn't meet expectations, there's still a way out, something most high-end furniture stores simply don't allow. 3. Decor and area rugs. Decor and area rugs are categories many people walk past at Costco, yet they're some of the most effective ways to transform a living space without spending much money. Choosing just a few of the right pieces can instantly make a home feel more organized and more intentional. Without renovations or large furniture purchases, the most obvious example is rugs. Costco regularly sells large rugs with thick materials and dense fibers, suitable for living rooms, entryways, or shared spaces. When you compare price by size and quality, Costco's pricing is often far lower than that of mainstream retail chains. Some entryway rugs cost only a few dollars, while similar items elsewhere can be several times more expensive. More importantly, these rugs don't feel disposable. They're durable enough for long-term use, even in high-traffic areas. In decor, Costco takes a safe but effective approach. Table lamps, floor lamps, mirrors, picture frames, seasonal decor. Everything leans toward neutral designs that work in many types of homes. They're not overly decorative, they don't chase fast trends, and they don't feel outdated after a single season. Many pieces closely resemble items sold at high-end decor stores, with the key difference being a noticeably lower price. Decor is also one of the easiest categories to get wrong. Something may not fit the space, the lighting may feel off, or it may look very different at home than it did in the warehouse. Costco's return policy removes much of that pressure, making it far easier to try and adjust without stress. Costco also brings in decor and rug items in limited quantities. If you see a design you like at a reasonable price, chances are it won't be restocked. That's why many decor items at Costco sell out quickly, especially during seasonal transitions or ahead of major holidays. 4. Homewares and small accessories. When it comes to homewares and small accessories, Costco is a place many people don't intentionally shop, but it's often where they end up adding the most to their cart. The reason is simple. These items solve everyday household tasks, are reasonably priced, and can be used immediately. The most visible group is organization and storage. Kitchen trays, baskets, shelf liners, pantry containers, and laundry room storage are all designed with simple styling, solid construction, and larger sizes than typical retail options. Instead of buying many small pieces individually, Costco usually sells them in sets, helping spaces feel organized faster without much planning. Next are everyday household items like hangers, laundry baskets, catch-all trays, tissue box covers, and doormats. These are the kinds of things that become extremely inconvenient when they're missing or broken, yet often feel overpriced when bought individually elsewhere. At Costco, the per-item cost is noticeably lower, and the quality is good enough to last for years. One standout point is that Costco homewares rarely look cheap. Materials feel thicker, finishes are clean, and colors are neutral. Whether they're fabric baskets, woven bins, or plastic containers, they feel sturdy in hand, not like something you'll throw out after a few months. This is especially important for items that get constant use in kitchens or laundry rooms. In addition, Costco often carries small upgrade items for the home that people don't usually think about. Decorative candles, picture frames, simple decor pieces, and table accessories. These don't dramatically change a space, but they make a home feel more complete and comfortable. 5. Costco Price Code Secrets. Did you know that Costco's price codes are one of the most useful tools for deciding when to buy? But very few shoppers pay attention to them? By simply looking at the price ending, you can often tell whether to wait or grab the item immediately. The most common ending is 97. This almost always means clearance, items being moved out to make room for new inventory. The discount is usually significant, and more importantly, the price rarely drops again. If you see a long-term item you need priced at 0.97, that's typically the lowest it will go. Next is the asterisk, forks, on the price sign. This doesn't indicate a discount. It signals the item's future, It's being discontinued. Once there's an asterisk, Costco won't be restocking it. The price may not be low yet, but if you wait, there's a strong chance it will be gone. For decor, small furniture, clothing, and homewares, an asterisk usually means last chance. A lesser-known detail, prices ending in .er or 49 are often warehouse-specific markdowns, not company-wide promotions. That's why the same item can be cheaper at one Costco location than another. When you see .er, it usually means the warehouse is clearing inventory quickly and quantities are very limited. The most important skill is combining these signals. An item marked 97 with an asterisk is almost certainly the last time you'll see it. Experienced shoppers make fast decisions at this point, because they know coming back later usually means it's gone. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. High-quality clothing and outlet finds. There's a common habit when shopping at Costco. Many people walk quickly past the clothing and outlet section, but that habit causes shoppers to miss one of the best value categories Costco offers. The clothing and outlet items here aren't meant to impress on the rack. They're made to be worn, used, and to hold up over time. And the more people shop, the harder this kind of value becomes to find elsewhere. At Costco, outlet clothing isn't defective, downgraded, or specially made for discount channels, the way it often is at many other outlet stores. Most items are standard products from well-known brands, sold when companies need to clear inventory, change seasons, or free up warehouse space. That means the fabric, stitching, and fit stay the same. The only thing missing is the marketing push. The most noticeable difference is the material quality. Jackets, sweaters, loungewear, and activewear at Costco typically use thicker fabrics and stronger fibers. You can feel it the moment you pick them up. These are clothes designed to be worn and washed repeatedly without losing their shape quickly. At prices often just 1/3 to 1/4 of retail, the long-term value is hard to beat. With outlet clothing, the biggest concern is always, what if it doesn't fit? At Costco, that risk is much lower thanks to an extremely flexible return policy. You can take items home, wear them in real life, and then decide whether to keep or return them. That alone makes buying clothes far less stressful. 7. Comparing online prices versus in-warehouse prices. One of the most common misunderstandings about shopping at Costco is the assumption that online prices are the same as in the warehouse. In reality, the two channels operate very differently. And if you're not paying attention, you may end up spending more without realizing it. In-warehouse prices are almost always the lowest Costco can offer. The reason is simple. No shipping fees, no individual packaging, and no handling of single-item returns. All costs are concentrated into the in-person wholesale model, so shelf prices reflect Costco's philosophy of selling at the lowest possible price. For bulky items like furniture, TVs, rugs, mattresses, or large appliances, the difference between warehouse and online prices can range from tens to hundreds of dollars. Costco Online, on the other hand, prioritizes convenience. Prices are usually higher because they include shipping, order processing, and logistics. In exchange, you get more options, sizes, colors, and styles, and access to items that may never appear in the warehouse. Online is also where you'll often find extended warranty bundles or service packages that aren't available in store. One important detail many shoppers overlook. The same product can have completely different prices online versus in the warehouse, with no fixed rule. Some items are cheaper in store, while others may be a better deal online thanks to free delivery or added warranties. That's why smart shoppers usually check both before deciding, especially on higher-priced purchases. 8. Flowers and event services. When it comes to flowers and event services, Costco is a choice many people don't think of. But once they try it, it's hard to go back to the old way. The reason isn't just that it's a little cheaper, but the overall value. Consistent quality, a streamlined process, and significantly lower costs compared to booking each service separately. First, there are fresh flowers. Costco works directly with growers and large distributors, so the flowers tend to last longer and are very competitively priced when bought in volume. For birthdays, anniversaries, or special home decor occasions, you can buy large bouquets, cut flowers, or prearranged options without paying the typical service markup. charged by traditional florists. For weddings and events, Costco offers preset packages through its website, ranging from bridal bouquets and table arrangements to basic decorative florals. This is an especially good option for anyone looking to simplify planning. There's no need for multiple meetings with a florist or endless design revisions. You choose the style, select the delivery date, and everything arrives as scheduled. For many couples, this approach saves thousands of dollars compared to full-service wedding florals from outside vendors. Costco's pricing is clearly listed, with no hidden fees and no price inflation due to peak season. This matters greatly for events with fixed budgets. You know exactly what you're spending and what you're getting, and you don't have to worry about last-minute cost increases. Beyond flowers, Costco also provides related event essentials like cakes, beverages, wine, and even guest gifts. By bundling multiple items from one place, event planning becomes much easier. Fewer vendors to manage, fewer mistakes, and better control over timing and logistics. 9. Wine and the rating system. After optimizing costs for flowers and event essentials, wine is often the next category that can quickly inflate a budget. Just a few poor choices can significantly increase total spending without delivering matching quality. And much like flowers, Costco approaches wine in a very practical way, cutting out middlemen, maintaining quality, and helping buyers make faster decisions. The biggest advantage of Costco wine is the price-to-value ratio. By buying in large volumes and accepting low profit margins, Costco typically sells wine at prices 20–40% lower than specialty wine shops or restaurants. This applies to both everyday wines and bottles meant for parties, weddings, or hosting guests. You're not paying for fancy displays or marketing stories. The money goes directly into what's in the bottle. For shoppers who aren't wine experts, Costco makes purchasing even easier with its rating system displayed directly on the price tags. These scores are usually based on reviews from experts and respected wine publications. Instead of memorizing regions, grape varieties, or producers, buyers can simply look at the score and the price to avoid most of the risk of choosing an underwhelming bottle. This is especially helpful when buying wine for events, where reliability and consistency matter more than experimentation. Another advantage is price consistency. Wine at Costco is rarely marked up aggressively during peak seasons or holidays. Prices are clearly listed, with no sense of being overcharged due to increased demand. For those who regularly host family gatherings, birthdays, anniversaries, or small events, this makes budget control much easier. In addition, Costco occasionally offers high-quality wines at surprisingly good prices, especially when they fall into clearance. For shoppers who know how to read the price codes, finding great wine below market value is a regular occurrence, not a rare stroke of luck. 10. Diamond jewelry. When viewed from a practical consumer perspective, Costco is a place that completely changes how many people think about diamond jewelry, an item traditionally seen as luxury. Not because Costco makes diamonds cheap, but because it removes the invisible costs that buyers usually pay at traditional jewelry stores. At Costco, diamonds aren't placed behind glass walls with dramatic lighting or wrapped in emotional storytelling. Instead, everything is presented very directly: carat weight, color, clarity, and cut. Every detail is clearly listed. The most important factor is pricing. Costco accepts significantly lower profit margins than the traditional jewelry industry. Many independent evaluations show that diamonds at Costco are often priced about 15–20% lower than at specialty jewelers, while still meeting full certification standards. For high-value purchases, that price difference is substantial. Another surprise for many buyers is post-purchase appraisal value. Quite a few customers have taken Costco diamond rings for appraisal and received valuations higher than what they paid. Costco is also well known for its generous return policy, something almost no jewelry store is willing to offer on diamonds. For first-time buyers or purchases tied to important moments like engagements or anniversaries, that peace of mind is extremely valuable. In the end, Costco isn't just cheaper because of price. It's cheaper because of how you buy. Knowing which categories to focus on, how to read price codes, and when to shop in-warehouse versus online makes a massive difference. Buying less but using items longer, avoiding emotional purchases, and keeping your money in your wallet longer, That's the real value Costco offers to smart shoppers. Which part of the video surprised you the most? Costco is rolling out new items constantly, but a new label doesn't automatically mean something is worth buying. Many products may look like great deals at first glance, but are actually cut-down versions, still priced above their true low or quietly nearing the end of their shelf life. On the flip side, some overlooked items deliver real value that far exceeds their listed price. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Giant K-Plunk game. Do you remember the childhood game where you pull sticks and wait for the marbles to drop? Costco has taken that exact memory and blown it up to over 4.5 feet tall. These aren't tiny tabletop sticks anymore. They're long, heavy rods, and every pull makes the whole group freeze, waiting for the big crash. That tension isn't just fun for kids ages 6 and up. It's perfect for energizing adult get-togethers, too. At just over $89, the current price feels a bit steep. But this is the kind of item that becomes especially satisfying when you catch it on a deep discount. Its real value isn't in the price tag. It's in the laughter and atmosphere it creates. Conair Iron/Steamer. What makes this Conair worth considering at Costco isn't just the convenience, it's the unusually low price. At $44.99, it's significantly cheaper than comparable 2-in-1 models at home appliance stores, where prices typically range from $60 to $80. This is the kind of product Costco often brings in as a limited batch. It sells fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. If it sticks around for a few more weeks, there's a good chance it could drop to a .97 clearance price. If you're not in a rush, keep an eye on the price tag. Just a few dollars lower and it becomes a smart grab before it disappears. 14-inch green pan frying pan. At $29.99, this is a rare price for a large 14-inch green pan, especially when similar models elsewhere often run $45 to $60 or more. The size is the real selling point. You can stir-fry vegetables for the whole family, sear a whole fish, or cook multiple portions of meat at once. No need to split everything into 2 batches. Green Pan's signature ceramic coating appeals to anyone looking to avoid traditional non-stick surfaces, and it's compatible with all cooktops, including oven use. Hunter backpack. Hunter is best known for its rain boots, so when people spot a Hunter backpack at Costco, many walk right past it. But pick it up, and the impression changes immediately. The fabric is thick and substantial. You can tell it's built to handle rain and rough weather, not just light, fashion-focused use. The structure holds its shape well, sitting neatly on your back without bulging, even with a laptop or heavier items inside. At $49.99, this backpack looks far more polished than most options in the same price range. Both black and green are easy to wear, though the green stands out much more in person. Hoka Arahi 8 shoes. Seeing the Hoka Arahi 8 hit Costco shelves says a lot about how popular this model is. The cushioning is plush, stability is excellent, and it's comfortable for walking or standing long hours. Hoka's quality speaks for itself. The issue here isn't the shoe, but where you buy it. At $119.99, Costco's price is roughly the same as elsewhere, while color and size options are quite limited. Specialty running stores usually offer better fitting support, more choices, and sometimes deeper discounts on the exact version you need. Mikasa flatware set. At $34.99 for a 4-place setting, this is a small investment with a surprisingly big visual payoff. The stainless steel finish is bright and polished, and the weight feels solid in hand, not flimsy like cheaper sets that scratch after just a few uses. On the table, it looks clean and refined, fitting in just as well for everyday meals as when guests come over, without ever feeling out of place. The Spice House seasonings. If you're walking past the spice aisle and spot the Spice House at Costco, is worth stopping immediately. This Italian seasoning isn't the usual, dull, pre-mixed blend. It has clearly layered aromas. The dried herbs are fragrant without being harsh, and you can smell the difference the moment you open the jar. A light sprinkle works well on pasta, as a rub for beef, or tossed with roasted vegetables. No need to add a long list of extra seasonings. What makes this notable is that the Spice House is typically sold through specialty shops at premium prices, so seeing it on Costco shelves is rare. It's currently available only in select Midwest and Texas locations, so anyone in those areas should keep an eye out. Farberware Salad Spinner, new design. Anyone who bought a salad spinner last year probably remembers the frustration. Awkward spinning, weak momentum, and a clunky stop. This new Farberware version fixes exactly those issues. The pump action is smooth and effortless. Just a few presses and the greens are thoroughly dry. When you're ready to stop, a light tap on the brake button brings the basket to an immediate halt. At $16.99, made with BPA-free plastic, this is a great pick for anyone who eats a lot of salads or simply wants faster, cleaner vegetable prep. Trident Bath Towels. You can feel the difference the moment you pick up a Trident towel compared to typical budget options. The cotton is moderately thick and soft without feeling artificially fluffy, and it absorbs water quickly instead of just sliding over your skin. After several washes, the towel holds its shape well, no fraying, no thinning. Something cheaper towels often fail at quickly. The striped and polka dot patterns are simple and tidy, adding a clean look to the bathroom without visual clutter. Sized at 30 by 58 inches, it wraps comfortably around the body after a shower. At around $6.50, this is the kind of purchase you can use immediately to replace a stack of old towels without hesitation. Down Haven, luxury, down pillows, 500 thread count to 650 fill. Lying down on a Down Haven pillow makes it clear why so many people hesitate at this display. It's not overly soft, where your head sinks in too deeply, and not stiff like old-style hotel pillows. It has a very balanced resilience. When you turn during the night, the pillow adjusts naturally with your neck, without completely collapsing or needing to be fluffed back into shape. The finely woven cotton shell feels cool, staying comfortable over long periods, especially for side sleepers. At $49.99, bringing one home and putting it on your bed that same night feels like a noticeable upgrade. Lunar New Year themed throw pillows. Walking past the Decor section and seeing these Lunar New Year pillows instantly changes the atmosphere. The bold red and gold background, paired with symbols of good fortune, brings a festive New Year feeling. Even just placed on a sofa or accent chair, they create a strong focal point. The fabric isn't luxury grade, but the stitching is neat and the pillows are well filled, so they don't look flat or deflated. At the current $10.99 price, some people hesitate since these are seasonal decorations. But because they've already been marked for clearance, a quick check back after a few days often reveals a price drop. Like the video if this surprised you. Brondell Swash CL150 Bidet Toilet Seat. At first glance, this bidet looks fairly simple, but once you take a closer look, it's easy to see why so many people linger at the display. You just install it and start using it right away. The side control knob turns smoothly, the lid closes softly, and removing it for cleaning is quick and easy. At $79.99, the biggest upgrade becomes clear after just a few days of use. You use noticeably less toilet paper, and the bathroom stays much tidier. Mesa 3-tier Acacia Wood Storage Shelf. Seeing the Mesa shelf in person makes it obvious why it stands apart from the smaller storage racks often found at Costco. The acacia wood has a visible natural grain and a warm tone that blends easily into any space without feeling like storage furniture. The 3 tiers are just right for keeping things organized. Small plants, bottles, or spice jars are all visible at a glance with no digging around. Pick it up and it feels solid and well-balanced, standing firmly even when holding heavier items. At $38.99, simply placing it in a corner instantly brightens the room, without needing much additional decor. Adirondack Chairs. Seeing these Adirondack chairs set up in the warehouse is a clear sign that Costco is gearing up for outdoor season. The white and gray colors look crisp and refreshing, instantly brightening a balcony or backyard. The weather-resistant material means you don't have to move them in and out every time the weather changes. If they get dusty, a quick wipe is all it takes. At $129.99, they aren't cheap, but for chairs designed to live outdoors year-round, the value becomes easier to justify. Sun Villa Patio Set. One look at this Sun Villa set makes it clear that Costco is aiming straight at patio season, with the current price set at $689.99. The aluminum frame feels lightweight, making it easy to move around the yard. Adjusting for sun or shade is effortless. Sitting down, the cushions feel comfortably supportive without sinking too deeply, and the backrest provides good support for longer seating. The Sunbrella fabric feels cool to the touch, doesn't trap heat, and looks especially good outdoors, with much better resistance to sun and rain. Lifetime 170-gallon outdoor storage deck box. The best thing about the Lifetime 170-gallon storage box is how quickly clutter disappears. Open the lid, toss everything inside, close it, and you're done. The updated rounded design keeps it from looking bulky, and the faux wood plastic finish looks clean and tidy outdoors. Despite the large capacity, it's easy to operate, with a lid that opens and closes smoothly without feeling heavy. At $149.99, placing just one box in the right spot makes an immediate difference. Your outdoor area feels noticeably more organized and easier to move around it. Costco Folding Step Ladder. Even though the weight capacity is only moderate, this ladder shines because it's incredibly lightweight. Costco's folding step ladder is light enough to lift with one hand, and once folded, it stores neatly against a wall without taking up much space. The steps are wide enough to feel stable underfoot, making it well-suited for indoor use. A 250-pound capacity isn't meant for heavy-duty jobs, but it's more than sufficient for everyday household tasks. Priced around $35.99, it's a grab-and-go essential, perfect to keep in the garage or laundry room so it's always there when you need it, without overthinking the purchase. Suncast Multi-Purpose Storage Shed, 6 feet by 6.2 feet by 4 feet. There are times when the garage gets so crowded you have to squeeze just to open the car door. Yet you can't bring yourself to throw things out: bikes, gardening tools, and seasonal storage bins. This Suncast shed is made for exactly that situation. It's compact enough to place along a wall or in a corner of the yard without taking up too much space, but the interior holds a surprising amount of bulky items. At around $399.99, adding a small outdoor shed immediately frees up your garage and makes items easier to find. Kohler trash cans. What makes Kohler trash cans stand out right away is the fingerprint-resistant stainless steel finish. In the kitchen, the difference is obvious. No more cloudy handprints showing up after every lid lift. The foot pedal operates smoothly with light pressure, and the lid opens and closes slowly and quietly, avoiding the harsh slam common with cheaper bins. At Costco right now, there's a set of 2 smaller cans for $34.99, perfect for bathrooms or laundry rooms, and a larger $89.99 version for the kitchen, with generous capacity that keeps things tidy throughout the day. Shop light. With brightness reaching up to 10,000 lumens, this light can turn a dim garage or shed into daylight. The smartest feature is the adjustable multi-directional panels combined with a built-in motion sensor. The light turns on automatically when you walk in and switches off when you leave. There are 3 lighting modes, giving you flexibility depending on the task. At just $29.99 for a lighting setup this powerful and functional, there's very little to complain about. Dubai Chocolate Mochi. The Dubai chocolate craze, with its rich pistachio filling and crunchy katifi strands, shows no sign of slowing down, and now it's arrived in a much more accessible form: mochi. My mochi caught the trend at exactly the right time by wrapping that curiosity-driven filling inside its familiar chewy, chilled mochi shell. Priced at $12.79 for an 18-piece box, each piece is about 80 calories, making it an easy treat after dinner or whenever a sweet craving hits without feeling too heavy. Egg wraps. Egg Life wraps are the kind of product that makes anyone watching their diet stop and take a closer look. They appear thin and delicate, but have just enough elasticity to roll without tearing or falling apart. The egg aroma is very mild, not overpowering, so they work equally well with savory or sweet fillings. At around 25 calories per wrap and nearly carb-free, many people use them as a substitute for crepes, tortillas, or thin bread at breakfast. Jimmy Kimmel salsa. What makes this salsa worth a second glance isn't the Jimmy Kimmel name. It's the clear, non-GMO label right on the packaging. In a sea of dips packed with preservatives and artificial flavors, finding a salsa that commits to non-GMO ingredients with a short, readable list is refreshing. Tomatoes, peppers, and onions. familiar ingredients you don't need to look up. At $6.79, it's a comfortable choice for anyone who cares about what they're eating every day, not just snacking mindlessly. Graza olive oil hummus. What sets this Graza hummus apart is the oil it uses. While many hummus brands rely on seed oils to cut costs, Graza goes all in with 100% extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, and the flavor difference is immediately noticeable. Scoop it out and the texture is smooth and cohesive. It spreads cleanly on bread or pita, without crumbling or separating. Right there on the shelf, $7.49 for a 26-ounce tub makes it a standout option for anyone who values both ingredient quality and taste. Mazaha Turmeric Ginger Lentil Dip. Mazaha is the kind of dip that makes you slow down for a moment when you taste it. The lentils provide a solid, savory base. Then the turmeric and ginger come through gradually, warm and aromatic, not sharp. What makes it especially pleasant is that it doesn't feel heavy. Instead of seed oils, they use avocado oil, which keeps the finish light and clean. Right there on the shelf, the $8.99 price tag makes many people curious enough to take it home just to try, then end up using it regularly with bread, fresh veggies, or spread inside wraps. At just 60 calories per serving, a few spoonfuls as an afternoon snack don't feel heavy at all. Graza olive oil. Graza rose to popularity so quickly that you see it mentioned everywhere, largely thanks to its easy-to-use squeeze bottle. When cooking, a gentle squeeze gives you exactly the amount you need, avoiding the classic problem of tipping a bottle and accidentally overpouring. The oil is single origin, with a fresh olive aroma and no stale notes or harshness when heated. Standing at the shelf, the $16.99 price for a 2-bottle set feels like a strong deal, since Graza rarely shows up this low elsewhere. It works well spread on bread, drizzled over salads, or for quick searing, keeping flavors clean without overpowering the main dish. Lightweight concrete planters. You'll be surprised the moment you lift these planters. They're noticeably lighter than they look. Thanks to newer materials, moving them onto a balcony or repositioning them near an entryway doesn't feel like heavy work anymore. This year's gray geometric design looks clean and modern, fitting perfectly into minimalist or industrial-style spaces without needing extra decoration. With a diameter close to 20 inches, they're large enough for statement plants, from pothos and snake plants to larger decorative greenery. Right on the shelf, the $49.99 price makes people pause and think. Since it's rare to find planters that handle sun and rain, well, look premium and still feel reasonably priced. Brondel bidet. Many people only start paying attention to bidets after trying one at a friend's house, and Brondel fits that pattern perfectly. It installs easily with no electricity, no batteries, and no worrying about outlets or tangled cords. The side control knob turns smoothly, letting you adjust water pressure from gentle to stronger depending on preference. When not in use, the nozzle retracts neatly, keeping everything looking clean and uncluttered. After a few days, the biggest difference is obvious. Far less toilet paper is used, and the bathroom feels tidier overall. At $79.99 at Costco, it's something worth considering right there in the aisle. Bath mats. Costco currently has 2 styles placed side by side, making comparison easy. The 100% cotton mat feels soft the moment you step on it, absorbs water quickly, and stays comfortable even if you stand for a while. $15.99 feels reasonable for that level of comfort. If you prefer a cleaner, quicker-drying bathroom look, the polyester mat with a mesh pattern is a better fit. Priced at $14.99, it includes a non-slip backing, so it stays securely in place. Both options are machine washable and don't require delicate care. After one full walk through the warehouse, the common thread among the most notable items this time isn't that they're new or trending. It's that they solve everyday problems. Buying the right item at the right time saves money long-term. Buying on impulse often means paying for short-lived convenience. At Costco, the more intentional you shop, the better the payoff. Which product in the video felt most worth the money to you? How many times have you been to Costco? And how many times have you walked straight past the freezer section thinking it's all just convenience food and not worth a closer look? The truth is, Many longtime Costco shoppers only realize later that the freezer aisle is exactly where they've missed out on some of the best value items. Not the loudly promoted products, but the quiet ones that genuinely save cooking time. If you've ever thought, if I'd known about this earlier, I could have saved money. This video will show you frozen Costco items you're very likely walking past on every trip and missing without realizing it. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Breakfast sandwiches, egg bites. Frozen breakfast items are a category many people underestimate until they hit mornings when they need to eat quickly but still want a proper meal. Breakfast sandwiches and egg bites aren't meant to replace a slow, relaxed weekend breakfast. They're made for rushed workdays, overslept mornings, or moments when your brain just isn't awake enough to cook. What makes these items repeat buys is how predictable and consistent they are. You know exactly how long they'll take, what you'll be eating, and how long you'll stay full. Everything is done in just a few minutes of reheating with no prep and no extra cleanup. For many people, that reliability helps mornings feel less stressful and prevents skipping breakfast altogether. Egg bites are popular because they feel light while still providing enough protein. The texture is soft, the flavor is balanced, and they're easy to eat even on their own. Breakfast sandwiches, on the other hand, are better for those who want something more filling: bread, eggs, and meat, a solid meal that lets you get on with your workday. 2. Pre-cut frozen potatoes. Pre-cut frozen potatoes are easy to overlook because they feel so familiar. Everyone assumes potatoes are easy to make fresh anytime. But once life gets busy, many people realize the real value is having everything ready to use. Costco's frozen potatoes are evenly cut with consistent sizing, so they cook at nearly the same rate every time. Just toss them into the oven or air fryer, flip once, and you've got a golden, crispy side dish that's easy to enjoy. For families with kids, this is a reliable, safe option that usually gets eaten without complaints. What keeps people buying pre-cut potatoes again and again is flexibility. They're not the main dish, but they make meals feel more complete in just a few minutes. Compared to fresh potatoes, frozen ones save prep time, require no peeling, reduce waste from bruising, and make portion control much easier. 3. Frozen meatballs. Versatile prepared foods like frozen meatballs are something many people buy for very practical reasons, even though they're rarely seen as worth talking about. Frozen meatballs don't stand out on the shelf, but they quietly become a go-to solution on days when meals need to be fast, simple, and filling. Their biggest strength is adaptability. On a tiring evening, heating them with marinara sauce instantly turns into a familiar dinner. When you have more time, you can pan-sear them, add them to sandwiches, mix them with pasta, or drop them into soup. One bag of meatballs can turn into a different meal each time, which makes them hard to get bored of. For larger families, meatballs also make portioning easy. You take just what you need for one meal and put the rest back in the freezer, with the quality staying consistent. This is especially helpful in households with different schedules, where everyone eats at different times and cooking one big shared meal isn't always practical. 4. Frozen soup, broth concentrates. Frozen soups and broth concentrates are easy to overlook because they don't look as exciting as ready-to-eat meals. But for households that cook at home regularly, these products can significantly cut down meal prep time. Broth concentrates work like pre-made stock. You simply mix them with hot water, and you're ready to make soup, noodles, porridge, stews, or vegetable dishes. The flavor is already balanced, so there's very little seasoning needed. This is especially helpful on late nights when you still want a hot meal but don't have time to simmer bones or cook everything from scratch. Frozen soups are better suited for light meals. One portion heats up quickly, is easy to eat, and isn't overly greasy. Ideal for a short lunch or days when you want something simple. Many families keep a few portions in the freezer so they're available when needed, instead of having to think of a new dish every time. 5. Pre-cut frozen vegetables. Pre-cut frozen vegetables are a category many people still hesitate to trust, partly because of the belief that vegetables should always be bought fresh, and partly due to concerns about inconsistent quality. But once families start cooking regularly and managing daily meals, many realize how well this option solves the time problem. The vegetables are washed, cut, and packed in large bags, making meal prep much easier. Instead of spending time peeling, washing, and chopping each type of vegetable, you simply take what you need and return the rest to the freezer. This approach helps reduce food waste, especially with vegetables that wilt quickly or are hard to use up within a few days. Pre-cut frozen vegetables work well for quick stir-fries, soups, rice dishes, or as a base alongside meat and carbs. On busy days, adding vegetables to a main dish is often enough to make the meal more balanced, without much extra thought or effort. 6. Bibigo dumplings, pre-cooked. Pre-cooked bibigo dumplings are often chosen because they're easy to use and require very little decision-making. They're not fancy, but they fit well into busy routines when you need a meal that's simple, filling, and easy for everyone in the household. The convenience comes from the fact that the dumplings are already fully cooked. You just need to steam or lightly pan-fry them, and they're ready to eat. Prep time is short, the steps are simple, and the filling is well seasoned. The wrappers are thin, and once reheated, the dumplings stay soft without drying out. This makes them suitable for quick lunches, light dinners, or households where everyone eats at different times. Bibigo dumplings are also versatile. You can eat them on their own with dipping sauce, add them to noodle soup, cook them in broth, or pan-fry them for a different texture. A large bag allows you to control portions easily, use what you need for each meal, and store the rest back in the freezer with minimal loss of quality. 7. Convenient, high-protein vegetarian meals. Convenient, high-protein vegetarian items, such as bean and cheese burritos, are often picked because they quickly satisfy hunger while still feeling balanced. For many people, they're a reliable backup option on busy days when you need a meal that's easy to reheat and provides enough energy to keep going. The strength of vegetarian burritos lies in familiar, approachable ingredients. Beans, rice, and cheese combine into something filling without feeling heavy. A few minutes of heating is all it takes, making them suitable for office lunches, quick dinners, or days when you want a break from meat. This category is also appreciated for its consistency. Each burrito has a clear size and portion, making it easy to manage how much you eat. For families with vegetarian members or those trying to cut back on meat during the week, these products simplify meal planning. No need to cook separate dishes or overthink preparation. 8. Salmon burgers and chicken strips. High-protein frozen foods like salmon burgers and chicken strips are popular because they fit easily into everyday meals without requiring much prep. They don't stand out on the shelf, but they prove their value when you need a nutritious meal in a short amount of time. Salmon burgers are often favored because they feel lighter than red meat, with a mild flavor that's easy to pair with different sides. A quick pan sear or bake is all it takes to serve them with salad, on a bun, or even on their own. For anyone looking to add protein and healthy fats while keeping meals simple, salmon burgers offer variety without feeling heavy. Chicken strips are even more versatile. They're fully cooked and pre-cut, so reheating is all you need. What both products share is control. You decide the portion size, how they're prepared, and what they're served with instead of being locked into a single fixed meal. Because they're flexible, easy to use, and work with many different schedules, these high-protein frozen options tend to be repeat purchases, especially for regular Costco shoppers who cook at home. Like the video if this surprised you. 9. Frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables that hold their texture, such as green beans and mixed vegetables, are often underrated, largely because many people assume frozen produce can't compare to fresh. In practice, when used correctly, they're a very convenient and controllable option for everyday meals. The strength of frozen green beans and mixed vegetables lies in how they're processed. They're cleaned, cut, and flash frozen shortly after harvest, which helps preserve color and structure. For quick meals, a few minutes of sautéing, steaming, or adding them to soup is enough to round out a plate, without the time spent on washing and chopping. These vegetables are especially helpful for households that struggle to use up fresh produce within a few days. You take exactly what you need and return the rest to the freezer, with no worry about wilting or waste. This makes meal planning more flexible, particularly when household schedules aren't consistent. 10. Portion-controlled grains for diet-focused eating. Quick cook, portion-controlled grain packs designed for diet-conscious eaters are chosen because they make meal assembly fast while still feeling balanced. For those cutting back on refined carbs or watching portions, keeping these grain packs in the freezer or pantry makes daily meals much easier to manage. Their main advantage is speed and clarity. Each pack is pre-portioned and only needs a few minutes to heat. There's no measuring and no guesswork, which makes them ideal for packed lunches or simple dinners after work. Grains like quinoa, farro, wheat berries, or brown rice tend to keep you full longer than white rice or pasta. When paired with vegetables and protein, they form a satisfying meal without feeling heavy. Many people use these grains as a base for salad bowls, mixed grain dishes, or weekly meal prep. Compared to cooking grains from scratch, the ready-to-heat version saves significant time and effort while still allowing flexibility in how meals come together. 11. Restaurant-style frozen orange chicken. There are evenings when you open a food delivery app, scroll for a bit, then close it again. Not necessarily because of the cost, but because you already know how it goes. Long wait times, small portions, and nothing left over for the next day. Restaurant-style frozen orange chicken fits perfectly into those moments. When you want a familiar, satisfying dinner, but with more control. This dish is designed in a smart way. The chicken and the sauce are packaged separately, so when you bake or pan-fry it, the chicken stays firm and crispy before the sauce is added to create that signature sweet and tangy flavor. Add a pot of hot rice or a quick vegetable stir-fry, and you have a complete meal without much effort. What keeps people coming back to orange chicken isn't whether it's exactly like a restaurant version, but how easy it is to work with. You can eat it whenever you want, portion it however you like, and you're not tied to peak delivery hours or extra fees. On tired nights, it delivers a quick, familiar dinner without the hassle. 12. Frozen berry mix. Frozen berry mixes are popular because they can be used year-round without relying on seasonal availability. Opening the freezer means you always have something ready for breakfast, snacks, or dessert, without worrying about fruit going bad or needing to repurchase multiple times a week. Costco's frozen berries are usually washed and flash frozen, so they retain their natural sweet tart flavor and consistent color. In the morning, you can toss them straight into smoothies or mix them with yogurt and oats. The biggest advantage of frozen berry mixes is control. You take exactly the amount you need and return the rest to the freezer with little loss in quality. This is especially helpful for families who've had to throw away fresh fruit simply because it didn't get eaten in time. 13. Health-forward burger options. Health-focused burger options made with chicken, kale, and cheese are ideal for times when you're craving a burger but want something lighter. Instead of heavy red meat, chicken breast provides a cleaner feel, while the kale and cheese mixed in add enough flavor without needing lots of extra sauce. The convenience comes from how ready they are. The patties are already formed and cooked. You just need a few minutes on the grill or in a pan. You can serve them on a bun, over a salad, or eat them on their own as a quick dinner. On late nights, this makes it easy to get enough protein without much prep. What sets chicken kale cheeseburgers apart is balance. The chicken is tender, the greens add freshness, and the cheese provides just enough richness. The result still feels like a burger, but without the heavy feeling afterward. Many people use these as a midweek alternative, especially when they want to cut back on beef without changing their eating habits too much. 14. Easy-to-prepare frozen Asian foods. Convenient frozen Asian foods like wontons and spring rolls are popular because they make quick meals that still feel familiar. They're easy to work into weeknight dinners when you want variety without complicating your cooking routine. Frozen wontons are usually pre-seasoned, with thin wrappers and well-balanced fillings. Just a few minutes in boiling water gives you a light, comforting soup. If you want something richer, you can pan-fry them until golden and serve with dipping sauce. This flexibility makes wontons suitable for both fast dinners and late-night snacks. Spring rolls work especially well as sides or finger food. Baking them in the oven or air fryer creates a crispy shell while keeping the filling tender inside. For families with kids or households that host casual weekend gatherings, they're easy to portion, easy to serve, and rarely unpopular. 15. Frozen shrimp. High-value frozen seafood like shrimp is a category many people rely on because it's easy to use, flexible, and clearly cost-effective. The shrimp is cleaned, either peeled or shell-on depending on the type, and flash frozen, so once thawed, it still holds a firm texture and natural sweetness. With just a few minutes of prep, you're ready to start cooking. The biggest strength of frozen shrimp is speed and versatility. It thaws quickly and works in many dishes: stir fries, steaming, grilling, pan-searing, noodles, fried rice, or salads. For a weeknight dinner, adding a bit of vegetables and carbs turns it into a complete main dish. For weekends, shrimp can easily be upgraded into something guest-worthy without much extra effort. Another major advantage is portion control. A large bag lets you take exactly what you need, then return the rest to the freezer for next time. This reduces waste and gives you far more flexibility than buying fresh seafood that has to be used quickly. Compared to regular grocery stores, Costco's frozen shrimp is often priced better per pound, especially when bought in larger quantities. 16. Frozen lasagna. Large, budget-friendly family meals like frozen lasagna are often chosen when you need to feed several people but still want things to stay simple. Instead of juggling multiple steps, boiling pasta, making sauce, layering ingredients, frozen lasagna cuts the process down to one step. Put it in the oven and wait until it's ready to serve. What makes lasagna a repeat purchase is how well it serves a group. One large tray is usually enough to fill the whole family, often with leftovers for another meal. In households with staggered schedules, lasagna is easy to portion and reheat while keeping its quality. It comes out hot, slices cleanly, and doesn't require much on the side. Flavor-wise, frozen lasagna sticks to familiar ground. Tender pasta layers, rich tomato sauce, just enough cheese, and a hearty meat filling. It's the kind of dish that's easy to agree on, with very little debate, especially when you need to decide on a dinner for multiple people quickly. 17. Premium frozen desserts and baked goods. Premium frozen desserts and baked goods like macarons are often bought for their convenience paired with a polished presentation. Instead of searching for a specialty bakery or placing an advance order, you can simply take a few macarons from the freezer, let them thaw briefly, and have an elegant dessert ready to serve. Frozen macarons are popular because their texture holds up well. The shells stay light, the filling remains smooth, and the sweetness is balanced and easy to enjoy. When handled properly, they still feel refined, suitable for guests, weekend meals, or adding a small finishing touch after dinner. Since they're individually portioned, it's easy to control how much you eat and avoid overindulging. This category works especially well for households that don't eat desserts often, but still want a convenient, presentable option on hand. You use what you need and return the rest to the freezer with minimal change in quality. That helps reduce waste compared to buying a full box of fresh pastries. The real strength of frozen foods at Costco isn't about quantity. It's about how well they support everyday life. When your freezer has the right options for rushed breakfasts, quick dinners, or feeding a crowd, meal prep becomes much easier. Frozen foods don't replace cooking, but they give you control over time, spending, and waste. Choose wisely, and every Costco trip becomes more intentional, and weekly meals much easier to manage. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? There's a familiar moment when shopping at Costco. You go back to a shelf you visited countless times, and the item you plan to buy is gone. Not temporarily out of stock, gone for good. Costco doesn't put up big signs or send warning emails. They quietly attach a small tag, and that's the end of it. This video isn't about regular sales. It's a list of products that are at their final stage. Prices have already bottomed out, and they won't be coming back to the shelves. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, I should have bought it sooner, this one's for you. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Alvert, Mayu Silicone Kitchen Utensil Set. The Mayu Silicone Kitchen Utensil Set doesn't really stand out at first glance. Clean design, neutral colors, nothing flashy. But for people who cook regularly, this is the kind of set that gets used the most and replaced the least. When a set like this enters its final phase at Costco, its real value becomes much more obvious. The strength of the Mayu set is everyday usability. Ladles, spatulas, and turners feel solid in hand, with just the right amount of flexibility, and they won't scratch nonstick cookware. You can stir, scoop, and mix without having to be overly careful. That sense of ease is something you only appreciate after using them over time. Unlike utensils that are nice to look at, this set shows up in nearly every meal you cook. Heat-resistant silicone also takes pressure out of cooking. You don't have to swap tools midway out of fear they'll melt or warp. Cleanup is quick, and odors don't cling easily. Small details like that add up to real benefits. A tidier kitchen, smoother workflow, and fewer replacements over time. When the Mayu set gets marked as discontinued at Costco, it's usually a sign of product rotation, not a quality issue. For shoppers, that means something simple. This is the best price you'll get for a long-term, everyday item. Wait until you actually need to replace it, and you'll likely pay more for a different set that may not feel as good to use. The Mayu silicone utensil set doesn't create a wow moment at first sight. It earns its place through durability and usefulness over time. If your kitchen needs a reliable, low-risk set you can count on for years, this is one to consider before the shelf is completely empty. 10. Anchor Hawking Glassware Set. The Anchor. Hawking Glassware Set carries a very different feel from many modern kitchen items. It's not trend-driven or designed to look unusual. Instead, it represents stability and familiarity, the kind many American kitchens have relied on for generations. What makes Anchor Hawking so trusted is its sturdiness and practicality. The glass is thick, with noticeable weight in your hand, and it feels reassuring when set down on a counter or table. It works for mixing, storing, reheating, and food prep without hesitation. You don't have to stop and wonder whether it can handle heat or minor bumps. You just use it as a natural part of your kitchen. For households that cook often, this type of glassware blends easily into daily routines. Leftovers in the morning, a quick lunch later, salad prep at night, or getting food ready for the next day. Everything flows without switching between different containers. That continuity helps keep the kitchen organized and cooking less complicated. When an Anchor Hawking set gets tagged for discontinuation at Costco, many people realize it's not something easily replaced. Durable, simple glassware that lasts is becoming harder to find at reasonable prices. By the time you actually need to buy it again, you may end up paying more for something that isn't necessarily better. For anyone who values kitchen tools that are durable, timeless, and easy to live with, this is the kind of product that proves its worth the longer you use it. And when it's about to leave the shelves, the decision to buy or pass often reflects how you think about long-term value in your kitchen. 9. Two-piece insulated tumbler set. The two-piece insulated tumbler set is the kind of product many people only notice once the price drops very low. Sitting on the shelf, it isn't loud or attention-grabbing, and it doesn't need a long explanation. But when you see the number on the price tag, it's easy to understand why shoppers slow their cart down. This is a rare price for something meant to be used every day. The real value of this tumbler set is how practical it is. Ice water, iced coffee, iced tea, or juice. It all works. The walls are thick, the grip feels solid, and it keeps drinks cold long enough that you don't have to keep adding ice. On hot days, just having a cold drink next to your desk can make things feel more manageable. No fuss, no accessories, just pour and use. Having two tumblers in one set adds clear convenience. One stays at home, and one goes with you. Or two people can use them at the same time without sharing. Many households buy one set and then come back for another once they realize how useful they are everywhere. In the car, at the office, during workouts, or on picnics. That ability to rotate use keeps the real cost per use very low. When the price hits clearance at Costco, it's usually a signal that this is the final run. The color, size, or design tied to this batch won't come back. For everyday items, missing out at that point often means 8. OXO Countertop Food Storage Containers. OXO countertop food storage containers are one of those items whose value many people only recognize after they've used them for a while. It's not something you buy because it looks nice or because you urgently need it, but because you want a kitchen that feels more organized and easier to manage. Once it's sitting on the counter, it's hard to go back to the old way. The biggest strength of OXO containers is the smart lid mechanism. A light press seals the lid completely, keeping food dry and fresh longer. Opening it is just as quick, and one-handed operation is especially convenient while cooking. These small details make a noticeable difference in daily life, especially for households that regularly use cereal, pasta, grains, snacks, or dry goods. The clear design lets you see exactly how much is left without opening the lid. That's especially helpful for everyday items. You know when it's time to restock and avoid buying too much or running out unexpectedly. Whether placed on the counter or a shelf, the containers look tidy, unlike original plastic bags or cardboard boxes that create visual clutter. Many people appreciate the sense of order OXO containers bring. When everything has its place, cooking feels lighter. Kids can grab snacks more easily without spilling everything, and adults spend less time cleaning up. This is the kind of product that solves multiple small annoyances at once, not just something that makes the kitchen look nicer. 7. BCNY Decorative Ceramic Vase Set. Place the BCNY ceramic vase set on a table or shelf, and the space immediately feels more grounded. It's not decoration that demands attention, but something that makes the room feel more in place. The proportions are balanced, the shapes are clean, and the smooth glaze adds depth when light hits it, enough to make a corner feel intentional rather than empty. The 3 vases in the set offer clear layout flexibility. Placed together, they form a complete decorative cluster. Separated, they work just as well in different areas of the home. Living rooms, bookshelves, dining tables, or entryways all work without breaking visual flow. This is the kind of decor that lets you refresh a space by rearranging, rather than buying more items. What earns the BCNY vase set high marks is how well it holds up over time. The ceramic is thick and substantial. The glaze has a muted tone that looks better the longer you look at it. Whether filled with dried flowers, greenery, or left empty, the overall look stays balanced. That neutrality allows the set to stay relevant through different seasons and layout changes. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. Rechargeable globe wall light. Many people don't realize they're missing a light until they've turned off all the ceiling lights and are ready for bed. A dark hallway, dim stairs, or a bedside that's far from any outlet, that's when a rechargeable globe wall light shows why it gets repurchased. This product isn't meant to replace your main lighting. Its value lies in adding light exactly where it's needed. Hung in a hallway, mounted next to the bed, placed near the front door, or set by a reading corner, each spot has its own reason for needing just the right amount of light. When turned on, the glow spreads evenly and softly, making it easier to move around safely without flooding the entire room with brightness. What draws many households to this type of light is control and flexibility. There's no dependence on fixed outlets, no need to call an electrician, and no wall modifications required. Charge it when needed, hang it back up, and keep using it. For renters, homes being updated gradually, or anyone who likes to rearrange furniture, the ability to move the light as needs change is a clear advantage. In daily life, rechargeable wall lights often serve as ambient lighting in the evening. They provide enough light to walk around, read a few pages, check on a sleeping child, or wind down before turning everything off. Many people notice that simply turning on overhead lights less often makes the space feel noticeably calmer and more comfortable. When this product gets tagged as discontinued at Costco, it usually signals the familiar pattern. It's reached the end of its cycle. Practical items that solve very specific needs like this rarely return in the exact same design. By the time you need another light source, alternatives are often more expensive or less flexible. Paint. Logitech MX Keyboard and Mouse Set. There's an easy way to spot products that truly get used. Buyers rarely complain, but they do come back to buy another. The Logitech MX Keyboard and Mouse Set falls squarely into that category. Not because it's flashy, but because it makes everyday work feel smoother. The first thing users notice is stability. The keyboard has a solid, consistent key feel. The mouse tracks precisely with a smooth response. Over long work hours, these details add up to a real difference. Less hand fatigue, fewer misclicks, and fewer interruptions in workflow. It's something you only fully appreciate after extended use, and the contrast becomes obvious the moment you switch back to older gear. The MX line also proves its value through adaptability. Switching quickly between a laptop, desktop, or tablet, working at your desk and then moving to a meeting room without friction, it all feels seamless. For people who work across multiple devices, not having to repair every time saves time and removes small daily frustrations. Everything works the way you expect, with minimal thought. Another important point is longevity. Many users keep their MX set through multiple computer upgrades, replacing the machine but keeping the accessories. When a product stays with you through several upgrade cycles, the real cost per day becomes very low. That's why when this set shows up with a discontinued tag at Costco, regular users tend to decide quickly. Chances to buy something that lasts this long at a good price don't come around often. 4. Snack box. Snackle box is one of those items people often buy out of curiosity, and then keep because they end up using it all the time. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a divided container, but once it's home, it slips into daily life surprisingly easily. Snacks are usually messy with everything in separate bags. Put them all into one box, and the clutter disappears instantly. The real value of a snackle box is how it changes snacking habits. Dried fruit, nuts, small cookies, candy. Everything is portioned into compartments. People grab what they want without laying things out on the table or tearing open more packaging. Kids find it easier to control portions, and adults tend to snack more mindfully because they can clearly see how much they've taken. That sense of order makes it something people use regularly without even thinking about it. This box really shines when you're out or gathering with others. Take it along in the car, set it on the table during a movie night, or place it at a small get-together. Everyone helps themselves, no passing around individual bags. That convenience is what helps Snacklebox move beyond being just a viral product and turn into something genuinely useful for many households. When Snacklebox gets pushed into the discontinued section at Costco, many people realize its cycle has run its course. Viral online, popular on shelves, discounted, and then gone. With items like this, waiting to buy it next time often means the exact version won't be there anymore, or you'll have to find it elsewhere at a higher price. 3. 3M Command Christmas Light Clips. Hanging Christmas lights is usually quick and easy, but taking them down often takes longer than expected. Wires tangle, hooks bend, and paint peels off the wall. That's why many families choose 3M Command Christmas Light Clips. They help keep things neat from the start, so there's less hassle once the season is over. The clips hold firmly to surfaces, keeping light strings close to the wall so the lines look straight and even. When it's time to remove them, you simply pull the tab and they come off cleanly, leaving the surface intact. For rentals, thin paint, or places where drilling isn't an option, that peace of mind matters. Once the lights are up, you don't have to worry about damage later. Another reason people stick with Command clips year after year is reusability. Lights go up in the same spots each season, without needing to buy new hooks or rethink the setup from scratch. These small conveniences reduce stress and save time when decorating for the holidays. When 3M Command light clips start showing up as discontinued at Costco, regular shoppers recognize the sign immediately. Seasonal items are nearing the end of their run. Once they're gone, you're either waiting until next year or hunting for alternatives. For products that serve a very specific time of year, having them ready before the holiday season is simply much easier. 2. Food Saver Vacuum Sealer Rolls and Bags. Food Saver Vacuum Sealer Rolls and Bags are the kind of products people truly appreciate only after using them for a while, when they look back and realize how much food they've saved and how much less they've had to throw away. These items don't stand out on the shelf, but they directly change how you manage food in your kitchen day to day. The biggest convenience is size control. With vacuum sealer rolls, you cut the bag to fit exactly what you're storing: large cuts of meat, long pieces of fish, or pre-portioned vegetables. There's no forcing food into pre-sized bags, no wasted space, and no awkward folding. Once you get used to it, the process becomes quick and clean. Over time, many households notice clear benefits when freezing food this way. Meat keeps its color better, fish absorbs fewer odors, and vegetables are far less likely to suffer from freezer burn. Meal prep becomes easier to manage, especially for people who buy in bulk or cook ahead for the week. Vacuum sealing extends shelf life while keeping quality consistent. Food Saver bags and rolls are also useful beyond freezing. They speed up marinating, make packing food for trips neater, and help divide portions for gradual use. When one product fits into multiple stages of kitchen life, shopping, cooking, and storage, its value becomes much more obvious. When Food Saver rolls and bags get marked as discontinued at Costco, regular buyers take notice. These are consumable supplies that get used steadily over time. Being able to buy them at a good price means long-term savings, because sooner or later, you'll need more. 1. Easy-on gutter guard. Easy-on gutter guards are often remembered only after a heavy rainstorm. Overflowing water, stained walls, damp ground. These problems show up quickly once leaves and debris have been building up unnoticed. That's when prevention suddenly feels far cheaper and less stressful than dealing with the damage afterward. What makes Easy-on appealing is its practical approach. The guard sits directly over the gutter opening, blocking leaves and debris from entering while letting rainwater flow through freely. There's no complicated drilling, and many homeowners can install it themselves in a single afternoon. For homes surrounded by trees, reducing how often you have to climb a ladder to clean gutters is a clear win. Safer and far less time-consuming. Over time, the value shows up in reliability. Clear gutters allow the drainage system to do its job properly, preventing backups and unpleasant odors. During storm season, the peace of mind that comes from knowing water will flow where it should matters a lot, especially for homeowners who've dealt with clogged gutters before. Easy-on works well for many types of homes. Single-story and multi-story houses both benefit from reduced maintenance. For people who don't want to rely on regular cleaning services, this is a way to take control of their drainage system. The upfront cost is quickly offset by saved effort and avoided repairs later on. The items mentioned here aren't just discounted products. They're clear examples of how Costco rotates its inventory. When a discontinued tag appears, it's the final signal before an item disappears from the shelves. Smart shoppers don't wait until they're desperate. They prepare while the opportunity is still there. Understanding this cycle helps you buy at the right time, avoid paying more later, and turn every Costco trip into a deliberate decision rather than a gamble. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? Costco is often seen as a safe zone for buying seafood. Many shoppers assume that if it has the Kirkland label, comes in large packaging, and isn't cheap, it must automatically be good and worth the money. But the reality is that not every seafood item at Costco deserves a spot in your cart. Some products look very appealing and sound premium by name, yet end up disappointing at home because of poor texture. On the other hand, there are less noticeable items that taste far better and are actually worth buying long-term. In this video, we'll break down which seafood items are worth buying, which ones are better avoided, and, most importantly, how to recognize the real value behind the label so you don't waste money on every Costco run. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Seven, breaded shrimp and breaded seafood. When it comes to breaded shrimp and seafood, many people already have a bias. This is fun food. Convenient, sure, but rarely great, and often more breading than seafood. In reality, Costco's offerings aren't that simple. The issue isn't the breading itself, but how it's done, the thickness of the coating, and, most importantly, the quality of the seafood inside. With well-made products, the breading serves to lock in moisture and add just the right amount of crispness without overpowering the seafood. When baked in the oven or cooked in an air fryer, the coating turns evenly golden, stays intact, and doesn't fall apart. When you bite in, you can still clearly feel the shrimp's texture, its natural sweetness and firm, springy bite. This is the kind of breaded shrimp you can serve for a family dinner, paired with salad or plain rice, not something you eat just to fill up. One major difference between quality products and disappointing ones is the breading to seafood ratio. With good products, you don't feel like you're chewing through fried batter first and then trying to find the shrimp somewhere inside. The shrimp pieces are large enough and thick enough and have a firm bite with real flavor. By contrast, there are plenty of breaded shrimp products that leave buyers let down. The packaging looks attractive, and the name sounds appealing, but once opened, the shrimp are small, thin, and wrapped in a heavy, thick layer of breading. When cooked, the coating dries out and hardens quickly, while the shrimp inside tastes bland and breaks apart easily. Eating them feels more like snacking on fried batter than enjoying seafood. These products may fill you up, but they don't deliver a satisfying, money-worthy experience. One important thing to note is that good quality breaded seafood doesn't need to be deep-fried. Well-made products still stay crispy when baked or cooked in an air fryer, making it easier to control oil and grease. This matters for families who want convenience without feeling weighed down after a meal. A tray of lightly crisped baked shrimp can leave you feeling satisfied but still light. Very different from the heavy, greasy feeling of cheap fried food. 6. Salmon. Salmon is one of those products many people trust almost completely when buying at Costco. The familiar name, attractive presentation, and not cheap price, combined with the feeling that if it's from Costco, it must be safe, often lead shoppers to put it straight into their cart without much thought. But if you look closely, salmon at Costco doesn't always deliver the same experience, and the difference comes from the type of product, not just the fish itself. With fresh salmon or salmon that's been properly prepped, the experience is usually consistent. The flesh is well-defined, the color looks fresh, and it stays moist with its characteristic richness when cooked. This kind of salmon works well for family meals, grilled, pan-seared, or added to pasta dishes. Many people keep buying this type because it feels safe. You take it home and cook it with minimal risk and little extra handling. That reliability is why fresh salmon at Costco is a frequent repeat purchase. However, once you move into processed salmon products, the story becomes more complicated. Some items are done well and give busy people a quick meal that still tastes good. The fish is seasoned lightly, doesn't dry out when baked, and the flavors support rather than overpower the salmon. These products are a good fit for people short on time who still want a decent meal. Just put them in the oven, add some vegetables, and dinner is ready. On the other hand, there are salmon products that create high expectations and then disappoint quickly. A common example is frozen salmon, labeled with very premium-sounding names, sometimes even suggesting suitability for raw or lightly cooked dishes. But after thawing, the texture turns soft and crumbly, the flesh loses its structure, and the pieces no longer hold together. When cooked, the fish loses moisture fast and ends up dry and flaky, without that rich, buttery feel people expect from salmon. Ground salmon or salmon burgers are another category that often divides opinion. In theory, they're a convenient option for quick meals. In practice, not every salmon burger manages to preserve the natural flavor of the fish. Another important factor is salt level and seasoning. Salmon is already rich and flavorful, so over-seasoning, especially with salt, can make it tiring to eat. Some prepared salmon products at Costco fall into this trap. The first few bites taste bold, but the dish quickly becomes heavy and overwhelming. This is particularly noticeable with smoked salmon or heavily marinated options. For people who eat salmon regularly, this is a key reason to think twice before buying again. 5. New Zealand Chilean green-lipped mussels. New Zealand or Chilean green-lipped mussels are one of the easiest seafood items to misbuy at Costco. The reason is simple. They look reasonable, the price isn't too high, and they carry the appeal of being imported seafood from well-known regions. For many shoppers, this feels like a try-it-once purchase. Mussels seem easy to cook, whether sautéed or steamed. In reality, the experience after cooking often falls short of those initial expectations. The first issue is the frozen format. Mussels are extremely dependent on freshness. When they're alive or freshly harvested, the meat is tender, slightly sweet, and carries a clean ocean flavor. Once they've been deeply frozen, especially when frozen in advance and packed in large bags, the meat tends to lose moisture. After thawing, many mussels still look intact in their shells, but the meat inside shrinks, becomes drier, and loses the softness you get from fresh mussels. This is usually when disappointment sets in. Another common problem is mussels that don't open during cooking. With fresh mussels, an open shell is typically a clear sign that they're cooked and safe to eat. With frozen mussels, that signal becomes unreliable. Some open, others stay closed, leaving the cook unsure. Throwing them away feels wasteful, but eating them doesn't feel reassuring either. This turns what should be a simple dish into a stressful cooking experience, especially for people who aren't used to handling seafood. Even when the shells do open, the meat inside is often inconsistent. Some mussels are passable, while others taste bland, slightly mushy, or mildly chewy. When sautéed with garlic or cooked in a wine sauce, they release a lot of liquid but very little flavor, forcing you to add extra seasoning just to salvage the dish. At that point, the mussels stop being the star of the meal and become more of a side element. Another reason frozen green-lipped mussels tend to disappoint is how hard they are to finish. The bags are usually quite large, but after one underwhelming meal, many households hesitate to cook them again. Mussels also aren't as versatile as shrimp or fish. The result is a bag that sits in the freezer for months, taking up space, and eventually gets thrown out. A very common type of waste with this product. It's important to be clear. Green-lipped mussels themselves aren't bad seafood. They're just not well suited to being bought frozen in large quantities. When you eat mussels at a restaurant or buy them fresh from a seafood market, the experience is completely different. Tender meat, natural sweetness, and clean flavor. But once they're packaged as large frozen bags, the quality drops enough that many shoppers feel the money spent isn't truly worth it. Like this video if this surprised you. 4. Fresh and frozen fish and seafood. Fresh and frozen fish and seafood are often seen as the backbone of shopping at Costco. Many shoppers believe that as long as they choose items that are unseasoned and not pre-cooked, the quality will be more consistent. That belief isn't wrong, but it isn't enough. In reality, even within the category of plain, unprocessed fish and seafood, the eating experience can vary significantly from product to product. Take frozen coho salmon labeled sashimi quality, for example. Many people buy it with high expectations because the name sounds reassuring, even leading some to think it might be suitable for raw or lightly cooked dishes. But after thawing, the flesh often turns soft and fragile, with the muscle fibers no longer holding together. Once cooked, the fish loses moisture quickly, breaks apart easily, and lacks the rich, buttery texture people expect from salmon. This is a clear example of how labeling doesn't always reflect the actual eating experience. Kirkland brand frozen scallops are another item that frequently disappoints. On the package, the scallops look large, uniform, and appealing. But once cooked, the texture can turn chewy and rubbery, without the tender, melt-in-your-mouth quality that good scallops should have. The flavor is mild and lacks natural sweetness, stripping the dish of its usual refinement. Given the not cheap price, many shoppers try these once and don't buy them again. As for pre-packaged ahi tuna steaks, the biggest issue isn't cooking technique but saltiness and freshness. Many buyers report a noticeable salty taste from the very first bite, even before adding any seasoning. The texture also lacks firmness, making both pan-searing and grilling fall short of expectations. With tuna, freshness is critical, and this product doesn't live up to that standard. That said, not all frozen seafood at Costco is a letdown. Frozen Dungeness crab is a positive example. The legs are thick and meaty, and when steamed, they retain their natural sweetness and firm texture. The value is obvious on first use, as the amount of usable meat genuinely justifies the price. Similarly, frozen octopus tentacles can deliver a consistent experience when prepared properly. After gentle reheating or a quick sear, the octopus becomes tender rather than tough and can be sliced easily. It's a good option for anyone looking to change things up without dealing with complicated prep. 3. Premium seafood. When it comes to premium seafood at Costco, many shoppers share a simple assumption. If it's labeled premium, it must be good and worth the price. Higher costs, nicer packaging, and more impressive product names all make it easy to believe you're making the right choice. In reality, premium seafood at Costco shows some of the widest gaps in quality. And without knowing what to expect, disappointment is easy. Take frozen Dungeness crab as an example. This is one of the few premium items where buyers immediately understand why it costs more. The legs are thick and meaty, and even after steaming, they retain their natural sweetness and firm texture. No complicated seasoning is needed, just heat and eat. For family gatherings or special occasions, this item clearly feels worth it because you're paying for real meat, not just shells. By contrast, frozen lobster tails often leave shoppers underwhelmed. On the package, they look large, bright, and impressive. But once cooked, the amount of meat can be less than expected, sometimes dry and lacking sweetness. Given the high price, many people come away thinking that the same money might have been better spent on a different seafood item, or even dining out. Another premium product frequently mentioned is jumbo crab cakes. Their biggest advantage is the high percentage of real crab meat, without being heavily padded with filler or binders. When baked or pan-seared, the cakes hold together well, and each bite delivers a clear crab flavor without falling apart. This makes them a good option for anyone wanting something a bit more elevated than everyday meals but still convenient and low effort. Premium scallops, however, don't always live up to expectations. Some frozen scallops sold at Costco turn out chewy when cooked, failing to deliver the tender, sweet texture people expect from premium seafood. When you've paid a premium price, and the result is still tough and bland, disappointment sets in quickly. Many shoppers try these once and decide not to buy them again. Lobster bisque is a different case. Even as a prepared product, it's often well-reviewed for its balanced thickness and noticeable lobster flavor. Not too watery, not overly heavy. On days when you don't want to cook much, this soup is a relatively safe choice within the premium seafood category, thanks to its consistent quality and ease of use. 2. Shrimp ring, shrimp cocktail platter. The shrimp ring or shrimp cocktail platter is one of the seafood items at Costco that most easily misleads shoppers. From the outside, it looks neat and appealing. A well-arranged tray of shrimp with cocktail sauce in the center, ready to serve the moment you open it. For many people, it feels like a safe choice for small parties, weekend gatherings, or times when they don't want to cook. But when you look closely at the eating value compared to the price, this item often falls short of expectations. The first thing to be clear about is that you're paying for convenience, not shrimp quality. Compared to unprocessed frozen shrimp, shrimp rings are significantly more expensive per pound. That price difference comes from the plastic tray, the presentation, and the fact that the shrimp are pre-cooked. The problem is that this pre-cooking is exactly what takes away from the eating experience. The shrimp in a shrimp ring are often overcooked. When you peel and eat them one by one, you'll notice the meat no longer has its natural springiness. The texture feels slightly soft and crumbly, with little of the clean sweetness shrimp should have. For people who regularly eat seafood, this becomes obvious after just a few pieces. The shrimp aren't bad, but they're not memorable or something you'd want to buy again. Another disappointing factor is temperature and moisture. Shrimp rings are sold refrigerated, but the shrimp themselves were cooked quite a while earlier. As they sit chilled, the meat gradually dries out, especially near the tails. If the tray isn't eaten immediately after purchase, the quality drops even further. Many people take it home, leave it in the fridge for another day, and by then the shrimp tastes even blander and less appealing. The cocktail sauce in the center is a double-edged sword. It's bold, slightly spicy, and acidic, which helps mask the shrimp's lack of flavor at first. But the more you eat, the more you realize you're tasting the sauce more than the shrimp. When a product depends on sauce to save the flavor, it's a clear sign that the main ingredient can't stand on its own. 1. Wild Argentine red shrimp. Wild Argentine red shrimp is one of the rare seafood items at Costco where many shoppers immediately understand why it's worth the money. There's no flashy packaging or gimmicky name. This shrimp wins people over through how it cooks and how it tastes. For anyone who cooks at home regularly, it's the kind of product that often ends up being repurchased again and again. The biggest difference with Argentine red shrimp is its natural sweetness. Even with minimal seasoning, the shrimp has a deep, clear flavor that many other frozen shrimp lack. When pan-seared with a bit of butter or olive oil, the aroma is noticeable right away, and the shrimp firms up just enough without shrinking excessively. Anyone familiar with cooking shrimp will recognize this quality from the very first batch. Another pleasant surprise is the color. When cooked, the shrimp turns a vibrant red-orange, visually resembling small lobster tails. This alone makes the dish look far more appealing, even when prepared simply. For family meals or when guests are over, that visual appeal adds to the sense that the meal is well worth the money. Wild Argentine red shrimp is also extremely versatile in the kitchen. It works well with almost any cooking method, quickly pan-seared for an easy dinner, tossed into a pot of pasta, or served as the main dish alongside plain rice. No matter how it's prepared, the shrimp holds onto its natural sweetness. This shrimp usually costs a bit more than standard varieties, but when judged by the eating experience, many people find the difference completely reasonable. You're paying extra for shrimp that actually tastes good, cooks easily, and carries less risk. Instead of buying cheaper shrimp that require heavy seasoning to fix blandness, many shoppers choose to spend a little more for meals that feel genuinely satisfying. Seafood at Costco isn't bad, but not everything is worth buying. A higher price or nicer packaging doesn't guarantee better flavor. Some items are convenient but only average in quality, while others look ordinary yet cook up surprisingly well. What matters is knowing why you're buying something, how you plan to cook it, and when you'll eat it. When you choose the right products for the right situations, you spend less, avoid the frustration of bad purchases, and end up with meals that truly feel worth the money. Which tip from the video surprised you the most? Have you ever wondered why two people can shop at Costco together, yet one spends under $100 and walks away with nothing but solid, high-value finds, while the other fills an entire cart, only to realize at home that they bought quite a few things they didn't actually need? The answer isn't luck. It's clearance where prices drop sharply, but value doesn't always stay intact. In today's list, there are items marked down to just $9.97 that are genuinely worth grabbing. But there are also plenty of products being cleared out simply to move inventory with quality that no longer matches even the discounted price. If you're hunting for real savings trying to avoid impulse buys and want to know which items are worth stopping to examine and which ones are better left on the shelf, this is what you need to see before your next Costco run. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Tramontina Ceramic Non-Stick Cookware Set. With the 12-piece Tramontina Ceramic Non-Stick Cookware Set, what makes people stop isn't just the clearance tag. It's the fact that this set includes nearly all the essentials for a family kitchen. One box comes with pots, pans, lids, and even utensils, making it ideal for anyone looking to replace an entire set at once instead of buying pieces individually. At $124.97, the average cost works out to just over $10 per item. It performs well for everyday cooking and is easy to clean, but it's not designed for high heat or heavy aggressive stir-frying over the long term. This set is better suited for a few years of practical use rather than long-term durability. Trudeau Porcelain Bowl Set 3-Piece. The Trudeau Porcelain Bowl Set 3 pieces sits among basic kitchen items, an area many shoppers walk past without a second glance. But once you pick them up, the bowls feel noticeably heavy with a thick glaze rather than a thin, lightweight finish. On the Costco app, this line receives solid reviews mainly for everyday use, and it's microwave and dishwasher safe without issues. At $12.97, it's not a price that causes a rush, but it's a good pickup if you're short on bowls you use regularly. Gourmet Dual Basket Air Fryer 11 Quart. This model has been absent for a while, but the Gourmet 11 Quart Dual Basket Air Fryer still makes occasional appearances in the clearance section. With 2 baskets and a large capacity, it's well suited for bigger households or for cooking 2 dishes at the same time. On Costco.com, it sells fairly well with generally positive reviews, especially for capacity and convenience. That said, the unit is bulky and takes up counter space, and Gourmet's heat retention isn't something everyone loves. At $49.97, the price is far easier to justify than when it first launched. Nordic Ware Simply Sourdough Starter Kit. Anyone who has ever thought about making sourdough at home will likely stop to take a closer look at the Nordic Ware Simply Sourdough Starter Kit. The kit includes a fermentation jar, tools, and basic instructions aimed at beginners who don't want to source each item separately. Many users say it's easier and more consistent than starting a starter from scratch. That said, it's worth noting that a kit isn't strictly necessary. Experienced bakers can get by with just a starter and a Dutch oven. Marked down to $49.97. This kit makes sense for anyone who wants a quick, simple start with fewer mistakes. Solo Stove. Marshmallow Roaster. S'mores Roaster. One of the more noticeable markdowns in the outdoor section is the Solo Stove Marshmallow Roaster, now reduced to around $29.97. Price may vary by warehouse. Its compact size makes it stand out on the shelf compared to standard grilling gear. Inside is a real flame, not a toy, or an electric heating element, which adds to the appeal for relaxed evenings in the backyard, on a balcony, or during light camping trips. This style of marshmallow roasting works best for small groups gathered together. Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve. This winery stands out with its reserve label, which looks refined and traditional, along with a larger bottle size than most standard offerings. This Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve leans toward a bold, full-bodied profile meant to be sipped slowly, making it better suited for dinner or weekend occasions rather than casual weekday drinking. The clearance price is what makes many shoppers pause since reserve-tier wines rarely get marked down this deeply. White wine 2023, vintage. Right after the bold red wines, the white wine section immediately feels lighter. Seeing the 2023 vintage tells you this wine is still quite young, meant to be enjoyed chilled, and right away rather than aged. It's a good fit for anyone who doesn't enjoy heavy wines. Serve it cold and the flavors come through easily. It pairs well with seafood salads or a relaxed low-key evening. The clearance price makes many shoppers pause longer than usual since it's not common to see a newer vintage white wine marked down this far. La Crema Chardonnay 3-liter bottle. Going deeper into the wine section, this bottle stops a lot of people simply because of its size. The large 3-liter bottle looks dramatically different on the shelf compared to standard bottles and feels well suited for larger gatherings or family get-togethers. La Crema's Chardonnay is known for being approachable with a rounded profile that isn't overly sharp, making it easy to enjoy. With the price reduced to $65.97, the cost per glass works out quite favorably compared to buying smaller bottles. 3M Scotch Tape 6-roll pack. 3Ms. Scotch tape is a familiar staple at Costco, known for reliable adhesion without peeling easily or leaving sticky residue behind. When the price drops to $9.97, many shoppers stop to take a closer look since one pack lasts a long time. Each roll is longer than typical retail versions, making it practical for everyday household tasks like wrapping items, taping papers, or quick fixes. Nautilus Yoga Mat. Anyone who practices yoga at home will recognize this mat right away. The Nautilus Yoga Mat is 6 millimeters thick and comes with a carry strap, making it suitable for basic routines. Just roll it out and start. In hand, the mat feels solid rather than overly lightweight. On Costco.com, reviews fall in the mid to good range. Many people are happy with the thickness and portability, though some mention the surface feels slightly slippery at first and needs a short break-in period. At $14.97, it's significantly cheaper than online pricing. Kangshang Knife Block Set. In the kitchen section, what makes this set stand out most is the depth of the discount. It's a full knife set with a wooden block, clearly aimed at everyday family use rather than decorative display. The packaging highlights a wide range of knives, from larger chef's knives to smaller utility blades, covering most basic kitchen tasks. The $139.97 clearance price is what makes many shoppers stop and take a closer look, since it's rare to see a complete set in this category marked down this deeply while still in stock. KC Emergency Car Tool. What really stands out about the KC Emergency Car Tool set is the deep manager special pricing, around $12 for 2 units. Because of that, many people grab them right away to keep in a family car, a child's car, or even as a practical safety gift. These tools are designed specifically for vehicle emergencies, with each unit combining a seatbelt cutter, a glass-breaking tip, and a bright LED flashlight. Like the video if this surprised you. Cuisinart 5-speed hand mixer. This is one of those items people are watching closely because it's in the phase of priced down, but not quite at the bottom yet. The current price is $27.97. The Cuisinart 5-speed hand mixer is a familiar model designed mainly for beating eggs, mixing light batters, and simple home baking, not heavy-duty use. The box itself shows a compact design with a smaller handle that's easy to store, making it a good fit for casual home cooks rather than frequent bakers. Snackle Box Set 2 Pieces. This 2-piece Snackle Box set is placed right in the convenient kitchen storage area, and it's easy to see why people stop to check it out. The 2 clear plastic boxes are divided into multiple small compartments, making them ideal for snacks, cut fruit, or treats for kids when traveling, picnicking, or storing in the fridge. A nice bonus is that the lid flips over and doubles as a cutting board, so there's no need to bring extra gear. The size is easy to handle, stacks neatly, and cleans up quickly after use. At the $6.97 clearance price, it's a great buy right now. Tupperware Container Set 32 Pieces. Right next to the Snackle Box is the familiar 32-piece Tupperware container set, but this time it's marked down to a $49.97 clearance price. The set includes a wide range of containers and matching lids in multiple sizes, all packed into one large box, clearly meant for long-term use rather than a quick temporary solution. It's best suited for food storage, portioning meals, and keeping the refrigerator organized. At this price, it's significantly cheaper than buying pieces individually elsewhere. So if your kitchen is short on containers, this is a solid time to consider it. Anchor Hawking Glass Jars 3-piece set. Next is the Anchor Hawking 3-piece glass jar set neatly arranged on the shelf. The jars are made from thick glass and feel heavy in hand, not the thin, fragile kind that chips easily. The lids are also glass paired with silicone seals that close tightly, making them well suited for storing dry goods like grains or coffee. With the clearance price at $16.97, this set makes sense for long-term kitchen use. Trio heater and fan whole room heater. Moving into the small appliance section, you'll see multiple Trio whole room heater units stacked on pallets. The clearance price is $49.97. This is a full room heater with a compact body and a remote control. When turned on, it gently oscillates to distribute warm air evenly, rather than blasting heat in one direction. In person, the build quality feels solid, very much in line with Trio's reputation for heaters. PowerCap Heat Plus Heated Hat. You'll want the PowerCap Heat Plus if you're frequently outdoors in cold weather. This hat noticeably keeps your head warm and also features a built-in LED light on the front. Turn it on, and the light shines directly where you're looking, which is especially helpful for evening walks or outdoor work in low light. The current clearance price is $19.97, and items like this usually don't stay on the shelf long during cold season. Hooded Face Cover 2-pack. If you prefer a simpler way to stay warm, the Hooded Face Cover 2-pack sits right next to it. Once you pull it on, your face and neck are well covered and wind exposure is noticeably reduced, especially when riding or standing outside in cold conditions. The fabric is soft and stretchy, so it's easy to pull up and down without irritating your skin, and breathing remains comfortable. The set includes 2 pieces, which is convenient for rotation or sharing, and the clearance price is $11.97. Trio Humidifier Set 2-pack. If you're looking for a practical solution to dry indoor air, especially during colder months when heaters run constantly, the Trio Humidifier 2-pack is a solid option. Each unit is ultrasonic, runs quietly, and produces a steady mist suitable for a bedroom or home office. At $49.97 for 2, this price makes sense for long-term use, particularly for households that struggle with dry skin or nasal irritation during heating season. 6A Battery Charger. If your household has a car, motorcycle, or other battery-powered equipment, this 6-ampere battery charger is a very practical item. The unit is compact and easy to store in a garage or car trunk. The cables are thick, and the battery clamps feel solid in hand. It supports both 6-volt and 12-volt batteries with a 6-amp output that provides steady charging without being too aggressive. Blackout curtains, 2 panels. One of the most worthwhile items to stop and check in the home section is this blackout curtain set 2 panels. For homes that get early morning sun or cold drafts in winter, these curtains help darken the room and improve heat retention. The set includes 2 panels enough to cover a large window, and the neutral color makes them easy to match with different interiors. At a $19.97 clearance price, many shoppers end up grabbing them on the spot. Mohawk LVP Flooring, Vinyl Plank Flooring. With Mohawk LVP Flooring, the $29.97 clearance price is what really makes people stop and take a closer look. This is waterproof vinyl plank flooring with a wood grain finish that looks quite realistic in person. The planks feel solid and sturdy without the hollow or overly soft feel some vinyl floors have. This type of flooring works well for kitchens, living rooms, homes with pets, or high-traffic areas. Mohawk is a major flooring brand, so seeing pricing like this doesn't happen very often. Egyptian Cotton Towel Set. These Egyptian cotton towels feel noticeably thick and soft. You can feel the weight as soon as you pick one up. The cotton fibers are fine and absorb water, quickly drying your skin without leaving a rough or scratchy feeling. The towels are generously sized, making them easy to wrap around your body after a shower. At the current $9.97 clearance price for the full set, this is one you should grab right away. It's an everyday essential, and pricing like this is hard to come by again. Mohawk Accent Rug 30 by 45 inches. In the rug section, attention naturally goes to the Mohawk accent rug in the 30 by 45-inch size, now marked down to $14.97. Laid out on the floor, it works well by an entryway kitchen sink or bathroom. The surface feels soft to the touch, and the backing has a non-slip layer so it stays in place instead of shifting when stepped on. Wyatt and Ash machine washable rug, 5 feet 3 inches by 7 feet 5 inches. If you're looking to upgrade from a small accent rug to something that anchors a room more cleanly, the Wyatt and Ash machine washable rug in the 5 feet 3 by 7 feet 5 size sits right next to it. The biggest selling point is that it can go straight into the washing machine. The box makes that clear, so there's no guesswork. At the $34.97 clearance price, it's very approachable for a rug this size, especially for homes with kids or pets. Hotel Grand Down Comforter. The difference is immediately noticeable when you touch the Hotel Grand Down Comforter. It has a balanced loft, fluffy, and evenly filled without feeling flat. The label lists 650 fill power with a 100% cotton shell that feels cool and breathable rather than stuffy. While the warehouse currently has the king size, it also works well on a queen bed. At $89.97 on clearance, this is a rare price point for a true down comforter. Fry Faux Fur Throw Blanket. Currently marked down to $69.97, the Fry Faux Fur Throw delivers a soft plush feel. Even when you run your hand back and forth, the faux fur stays smooth rather than stiff or matted. The blanket has a satisfying weight, heavy enough to feel cozy without being cumbersome. It works well as a throw on the sofa or as an extra layer at night. While it's not an extreme markdown, it's an easy in-store pick for anyone who enjoys soft, everyday use blankets. Kohler Pull-Down Kitchen Faucet. The price alone is enough to make many shoppers stop and take a second look. With the Kohler Pull-Down Kitchen Faucet, what stands out isn't flashy design, it's how good it feels in use. The pull-down spray head moves smoothly, and the hose retracts effortlessly without jerking or catching. The faucet body feels solid and well-built, designed for long-term use. Switching spray modes is done right on the head, making one-handed operation easy even when washing large pots. Kids Suitcase Plus Backpack Set. If you have young kids, this set is instantly eye-catching, thanks to the familiar characters and bright colors. The Kids Suitcase and Backpack Set. Spider-Man Stitch looks compact in person, not oversized for smaller children. The wheeled suitcase rolls smoothly and is light enough for kids to pull themselves. The matching backpack comfortably fits personal items for short trips or overnight stays. The prints are clear and vibrant, exactly the kind of designs kids gravitate toward. With clearance pricing, many parents grab these in advance for quick getaways or as a dedicated suitcase just for their child. Kids Clothing Set Top Plus Leggings. In the children's clothing section, these matching sets tops paired with leggings are popular for their simplicity and convenience. The fabric isn't too thin, but it's not overly heavy or stuffy either. The simple fit allows kids to move comfortably whether they're playing, sitting in class, or taking a nap. Skippy Nut Roll Protein Bar. Moving further down the snack aisle, this protein bar catches a lot of attention because the name feels both familiar and unexpected. Skippy is usually associated with peanut butter, but this version comes as a nut roll. A quick look at the ingredients shows it leans more toward energy than diet food peanuts caramel, and a clearly sweet outer coating. Each bar has just over 200 calories with a moderate amount of protein. In exchange, the taste is easy to enjoy. It doesn't have that dry, powdery texture that many protein bars do. Polaroid Instant Camera Generation 3 Bundle. The Polaroid Instant Camera Gen 3 bundle is currently marked down to $99.97, though this still isn't the lowest price it's ever reached, so it may be worth waiting to see if it drops further. The bundle box is fairly large, and when you pick it up, you can tell it includes all the necessary accessories, very much a buy it and use it right away setup. The Gen 3 focuses on quick, simple shooting. No complicated settings, just point shoot and get a printed photo instantly. Many people compare it to the Gen 2, but Gen 3 still makes sense for casual use parties and travel. Puma Soft Foam Sneakers. The Puma Soft Foam sneakers are now marked down to $24.97, which is why many people see them as an easy buy and wear right away option. The sole uses soft foam cushioning, making them comfortable for everyday walking without feeling stiff or heavy. The design is simple and not overly bulky, suitable for work errands or daily tasks. They come in black and gray, and in person, they look cleaner and more streamlined than the box photos suggest. 32 degrees long sleeve t-shirts. If you're shopping for everyday basics, the 32 degrees long sleeve t-shirts also have a strong deal right now, $9.97 for a 2-pack. Because of that, many shoppers grab 2 or 3 sets to get through the season. In hand, the fabric feels thin, lightweight, and stretchy, not thick or restrictive. The fit is simple and easy for both men and women without being body type specific. Women's base layer leggings. Right next to the tops, these leggings tend to get a closer look since they're worn close to the skin and fabric quality matters. The women's base layer leggings feel soft and thin, but still provide moderate warmth without bulk. Each pack includes 2 pairs, making it easy to rotate. The current clearance price is $9.97 for a 2-pack. Looking back at everything in this clearance round, it's clear that real value comes from buying what fits your actual needs, not from chasing the lowest price. Clearance pricing lowers the risk of a bad purchase. If it works for you, it's a great deal. If not, you don't feel as much regret. The key is not to let low prices lead the way. Instead, focus on items you know you'll actually use in your day-to-day life. Which product in the video surprised you the most?
There's a truth that very few people realize: Costco doesn't automatically save you money. Same store, same shopping cart, yet some people walk out feeling like they scored incredible deals, while others leave the parking lot wondering why their receipt is higher than expected. The difference lies in how you read this store. Costco operates under its own set of rules, and it sends out signals that are easy to miss. Overlook just one small detail, and you can end up buying the wrong way. These are 9 secrets that explain why some shoppers consistently buy smart, while others don't. With just a few habit changes, your Costco experience can feel completely different. You'd be amazing if you liked this video. 9. Costco makes its own hot dogs to keep the price fixed. Very few people know that the reason Costco's hot dog price has stayed the same for decades isn't a marketing stunt. It's the result of an extremely firm business decision. As ingredient costs, transportation, and labor expenses kept rising, holding a single price point became an increasingly difficult challenge. At the time, many suppliers were upfront: if Costco wanted to keep selling hot dogs, the price had to go up. Costco chose a completely different path. Instead of raising prices or cutting quality, Costco built its own hot dog production facilities. This move went against conventional retail logic because hot dogs are not a high-profit item. But for Costco, hot dogs were never meant to be a moneymaker. By producing them in-house, Costco gained control over the entire chain, from raw materials to production to cost structure. No middlemen, no supplier pressure, no annual price negotiations. This allowed Costco to keep the price fixed without sacrificing the customer experience. What matters is that Costco willingly accepts a small loss in one area to preserve trust across the entire store. In today's retail environment, where prices are often shaped by short-term promotions and endless discount signage, this approach runs counter to the norm. And that contrast makes one thing clear to shoppers: some prices stay the same, not because they're cheap, but because they were intentionally designed not to change. 8. Use Costco gift cards to save money elsewhere. One of the most overlooked ways Costco affects your spending doesn't happen on the shelves. It happens in the gift card section. Many people walk past it assuming there's nothing special about gift cards. In reality, this is where Costco helps you cut costs on expenses you were going to pay anyway, just somewhere else. The system is straightforward. You're not buying a product, you're buying cash value at a discount. For example, an activity meal, entertainment, or service that normally costs $100 might only cost $75 to $85 when you purchase the gift card at Costco. No waiting for sales, no coupon hunting, just a different way to pay. What's important is that this savings doesn't change the experience itself. You still go to Topgolf, you still eat at the same restaurant, you still book the same services. There's no downgrade in quality and no compromise involved. The only difference is that you paid less for the exact same thing, and that often becomes clear only when you look back at your total monthly spending. Costco gift cards are especially effective for recurring or pre-planned expenses, birthdays, family gatherings, weekend dining, and short trips. When you already know the money will be spent buying the gift card ahead of time, locks in a lower cost, and helps avoid that, whatever, I'll just pay it feeling at checkout. Many people think Costco only helps you save when you buy in bulk inside the warehouse. Gift cards prove otherwise. Even if you leave without adding a single extra item to your cart, you can still be spending in a smarter, more cost-effective way long after you've driven out of the parking lot. 7. You don't always need a membership to shop. Many people assume that stepping into Costco automatically requires a membership, but the reality isn't that rigid. There are certain areas